That's why he went by Freddy.
That would make a lot more sense.
Why wouldn't he go by Gast instead? That's what I would
Gaston.
do. Gaston.
Gaston's frozen custard. Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't have that ring to it.
These are Alyssa's kids.
You would like, you'd bite into your
Jackson
burger
was
and
like-
be
he
like,
was like-
excuse me,
he was
there's
like,
a
I've seen
peck
all
in
your
here.
movies. And we're like, what about
A
this one?
peck?
He's like, I've
Yeah,
seen
like a
them all.
Gaston. He's got
And
these
we're like,
pecks.
oh, and he was like, maybe you can come to my house sometime. I can show you my room. I was
Go
like,
home,
okay. I was like, I heard you're really good at pizza. Like, really good at pizza. He's like, I know how to hit in here. I was like, I never actually learned. He's like, okay. Perfect. I'm learning all the help.
These French fries taste like misogyny. Also, they make me illiterate. What is going on?
What's up?
Hey, friendo.
Hi, how's it going, babes?
Let's din.
I'm excited.
It's going.
Oh no, don't do that.
What? Don't
Do
give
we
me-
have a mod?
It's me.
Amble.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Mibs.
That wasn't you.
Yep.
Indy. And then we have
Mod Junior.
Melody.
Feeling disrespected.
That seems to complete.
Liam joins the campaign.
Complete the double triad.
Liam joins the campaign. Not Junior.
This episode's recap is brought to you by not being a drunken idiot writing it.
God, that was
we
so
should
fun.
be
Damn
better
it.
off.
This is amazing.
Funny. I know. I was looking for it to read it to Jordan. We couldn't find it, so we
I
had to
hadn't
go to.
posted it yet,
I had to go
sorry.
to YouTube to find it.
It's my bad.
I sought it out.
Yeah.
So
Forgive my
hilarious.
transgression.
Please do that every week. That was
What?
lovely.
Nah.
Get drunk and recap.
I mean, okay, fine. If you say so. Just
Twist.
because you said that, I made an
Twist.
emergency one just for this occasion. No.
Damn it.
I will next week.
Dude, you got so excited.
We did.
So stupid. Previously on Don't Trust Me, the group finds the Oxa caravan to be occupied by Luai and a team of kobolds.
Bitch.
Discussions are made with the party as traveling the strip might lead to further conflict if the threat is not kept in check. After their foe makes the eerie suggestion to consolidate carts and travel together, the gang reluctantly agrees. As multiple hours pass, Luai suggests to Melody some suspicions from the guide folk, laying a trap for them. No, wait, I split this up. Luai suggests to Melody some suspicion of the guide folk laying a trap for them, which a suggestion spell proves said theory. The man is zombified and forced to travel to camp, where the gang then 86s the car and sends it empty up to the canyon camp filled with bandits. Which that's what I was thinking about. That's something that would be really awkward for Carol if they decided to attack this car. Was she in there all by herself? Yeah.
She was driving.
Blows up the car. I thought that'd be pretty funny, but it didn't happen. So Carol will live to see another day.
For now.
Where the gang.
Why do you all want to kill Carol?
I love Carol.
I
It'd be
didn't
so
say
funny.
that.
Yeah.
For now.
Carol is like
Trying to be
you like an
threatening.
ass.
Trying to be threatening.
where the gang then sneaks onto the nearby mesa for a surprise attack. The attack is over in seconds as the group decimates the bandits. As the day travels on, the group must decide on heading for charted desert rock caves to survive the night storms, or risk traveling to CCP Outpost 004. After these options are brought up, it is found that Cloudman had stayed at the outpost during his travels through the strip, leaving his traveling amulet behind. On the way, Cloudman apologizes to Melody for manipulating the Puerto citizens. Is then expressed that his fate as man of heirs for his people was forced upon him, as his true name, Cloden Curzu, had relation to the Red Angel from Syalphan worship and history. He states his ability to influence others and... fucked up there.
Okay.
I'll have to rewrite it some other time. No proofreading for me. And he chooses his own path. What the fuck am I doing? Hold on, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I had a stroke. Oh, I'm just reading. He states his ability to influence others and choose his own paths was a luxury he sadly never had, and or sadly never thought would be available to him, and he jumped at the opportunity when it arose. As the group nears the outpost at dusk, Mod is exchanges a phone call between his operator, who called in attempts to restore his credit line after the bandit camp is defeated. Mod switches to the operator's private line as they discuss missing info from his account, where Mod reveals his previous name from his frontline past to be Flail, the same name in which the operator gave during their first conversation. The operator quickly drops his act, revealing to be a counterpart of Border and the other Greycoats that ran the engine gauntlet. Going by no other alias other than the light that refuses to shine, the voice pushes Mod in directions of revenge against the Legion, using cryptic info on his missing friend's whereabouts in order to gauge his faith to his current mission. He is then told to continue his passage to the outpost and ask if the case 36OD being held there, or clearance codes sent to him would help him learn more on the subject at hand and hopefully push him in the direction of cooperation in the future. As the dead of night approaches, the roaring sounds of the Vonulit storm approaches, but not before the outpost reaches the horizon and an envoy is sent to retrieve the group.
We also spent 20 minutes debating whether or not to kill a random bandit, and we did anyway.
Well then, as you can see why I left that out.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
There's so much time spent on that for nothing.
He'll be fine.
He's dead.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't have a darker version of this for disposition.
nighttime.
Was it suspension of disbelief purposes? Simply picture the light is black,
Just slide the
and we
gradient
can
down.
all agree that I shot the bed on that one.
I have an idea.
What?
Turn off the TV.
That would technically work.
Then it'd be all dark.
Right, I can just delete one of these
I can't
slides.
see anything.
It'll just be- Draw little white dots on it. Stots.
Stocks.
White
Stroke.
dots.
I have a stroke today.
Do we need to go to the hospital?
You okay, bro?
No.
Don't have a stroke.
Okay.
Dice cloud.
So, leaving off from where we were there, a group of, well, it's not necessarily a group, it's like a little desert vehicle that travels much quicker than the vehicle you guys are currently in right now, this little ATV, begins scurrying off from the base of where this outpost begins and makes its way during your position. At some point, it must have fallen under the radar of the outpost. You guys do anything as the vehicle approaches?
Is it coming towards us from the outpost?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh ass.
And it's like coming straight at us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost similar. Yeah, it's purposely coming towards you
Gotcha.
guys.
Okay. That's what I want to confirm. I do not want to do anything.
Like it's. Can we gather that it's like coming like from the outpost as like a meeting party?
It's kind of hard to tell. This building doesn't necessarily seem like it's meant to get many visitors.
Okay.
Everyone put on a smile. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Just like that, Mel.
At that point, the vehicle approaches and begins to pull off, veering over to the left of you guys. As one of the windows for this vehicle begins to pull down. It's kind of like this heavier metal window meant to like withstand storms. This car is more of like an armored vehicle that's meant to like go out on like search and rescue missions for people who get lost during the nighttime storms almost. But the window peels down. Is like, not so fast, everyone. This is restricted territory. Please state your business in this area.
I'll walk up, pull out my gold card, and say, just getting through the strip, need to stop here for the night, otherwise we'll be on our way.
Not very many people travel far from the Iron Bridge. Is there a reason you were coming out in this direction?
And I just look at him, like, while still holding the card.
Mm-hmm.
Were you trained in the Legion to question your authority?
Make an
It's-
intimidation check for me real quick.
$11.
So it begins.
Right next to the 20.
I know your designation. This is Outpost 004 of the CCP Foundation's
That's how it always goes.
secret research. These buildings are instituted by the 5th Seed Arcanite as well. I guess you could say, as he pulls out a gold card as well,
Chat.
that yeah,
Your pants.
I do know how to take an order, and you should too. Why are you guys coming out here? I'd hate to leave you out in the desert, but we need to know that there's nothing too pressing that we would need to concern ourselves with.
I'm gonna
So
get
we
out.
don't really get visitors out here.
I'm gonna get out and walk up with you. And I'm gonna put out my hand and say, Melody, nice to meet you.
This vehicle, if I can give you a standard of
Wave.
the wheels to where you are right now, it's kind of like a. You just like. It's just.
Fine, I won't shake it.
Melody
Yes.
trying to shake hands with the
Yeah,
tank.
Melody, sir. We were traveling at an outpost over that away, and it ended up being an ambush. And we're just seeking shelter for the evening so we can pass through.
You do have. Pardon me. He turns back to hostile. Under whose order are you under?
General Fauna.
You guys are collectors?
Yeah.
Out this far? Okay. Probably going after desert bandits then, I assume.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them this time of year. It's easy pickings for people crossing to try to get to New Atlanta for the party scene, I guess. But yeah, we should be able to find some room.
Thank you. We
I
appreciate
gotta-
that.
Well, we got a radio in here with head doctor that's running right now and see what we can do about spacing. This is kind of an awkward time for visitors. The window just closes back up, and this is at the same time kind of a pressing situation for time, as the roaring sounds that are coming up from the north are just kind of steadily increasing. The window goes back down. We're gonna radio in for our second armored car. We can load up about 3, maybe a 4th person in this car, but we can't get you all at once. We already have a couple other people in this one.
Can we walk?
Yeah, you can. However, and if you could see the outpost, it's still maybe like a small house on the horizon. It would be maybe another 15 to 20 minute walk to get there.
Okay. I mean, if it's safe, we can walk.
It's not safe.
Okay,
Which is
then
why we're
we-
trying to radio in for another car.
Okay.
But you can walk if you want.
I
You guys
don't
are-
want to.
You guys are adults.
I don't want to. It's fine.
All right.
You know the sand better than I do.
And then just-
breaker.
Okay. Whoever wants to load up in this one, a car should be here momentarily. Like even as you see this, you see headlights appear from the outpost.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll wait
I wait.
behind.
I'll hop in with this one.
I'll wait.
Mistress will get in this one.
Okay.
How many did we say could get in this one?
Just 3.
I got it. Number
Okay,
3.
you guys load in.
The brown futon.
Anyone who can make a quick perception check to the area real quick?
Oh my god.
Nice.
It's every fucking time.
7, boss.
What?
10. Then that one?
Jesus.
9.
Alright, that's a 9.
Oh no. 12. Just kidding.
10.
That's a 9. I guess we don't notice that Cloudman's gone.
Oh, fucker.
Yeah, Clement's here.
Okay, I thought that's what we rolled for.
Every time.
What was the highest anybody rolled for that?
I rolled a 1. Did anyone roll higher than me?
A little bit.
I got a 9.
10.
You didn't see how, but Lua's gone.
Shit.
Is Cloudman with us?
That
Yeah,
makes
Clement is with you. Okay, that's not the problem.
that makes a lot of sense. The Lua's
Yeah,
gone.
Lua is not here right now.
That
That's fine.
stupid
That,
sexy bitch.
that tracks.
Okay.
Super sexy bald bitch.
Cloudman, he even turns like, where did she go? Oh no.
This is what it's like to be friends with you, Cloud Man. You always disappear.
We all survived that battle. This is a bad time to make enemies with me, Melody Man.
I'm not trying to make any enemies with you, man. I'm trying to
I
quit. I'm
agree.
trying to quip with you.
What is? Oh no.
Oh no.
Hell. The car for the first one begins to drive away, and really on the inside of this, it's very low lit, kind of black lighting on the inside. It feels kind of like an armored limousine on the inside of this. It's pretty fancy from this lighting. You can tell just from the sterilization of the interior here that it's very sealed off from the desert on a normal basis. Like this can withstand a storm, and you can barely even see through the headlights. They're so, or through the windshield. Looking forward here, they're so heavily tinted, like
Wow.
to even like avoid like sun exposure during the daytime when these cars drive out. But sure enough, as you guys take off, the other car quickly appears and is able to load in the rest of the passengers into this. But the first three that are in this car are able to see the outpost reaching out here, and it seems like a series of stone walls, just kind of encapsulating a circle with kind of like with dim spotlights sitting up along the top, just kind of like a Walmaria situation, but like way smaller, the size of a whole Titan civilization. But it doesn't appear to be very tall, is the problem. It seems like if there's anything on the entrance of this, it probably goes down. Or it's just as small as it looks. You're not in the building yet. Anyway, as the group convenes over at Outpost 004 here, you guys empty out into kind of this like really large parking garage where a series of these vehicles kind of line up and put in station, and they align themselves in a situation where like at a moment's notice the garage doors can open up and they can speed out to go look for stragglers and whatnot. As you guys bring in here, you all empty out into this area here, and a couple of the guards kind of gather you up into a little area together. One of them speaks up as like, can you wait here for a second? We're going to look for the overseeing doctor and have them greet you and possibly bring you to a location where you could be able to stay the night. She'll be here in just a moment.
Sure.
These guards don't look like they talk to civilians often, even though you're not all, and none of you here are civilians. This is very,
Right. They don't get many visitors.
it's not a common occurrence for people just to show up at the outpost. It's relatively difficult to look for it unless someone knows where it is. And in this case, Lua was bringing a zombie in that location just via knowledge of her own accord.
Yeah. What a sweetheart, actually. Leading us here.
What's our zombie situation like?
You know, she was on
They didn't bring the zombie in. If anything, you turn back to go look at the camp there, and there was just a pile of ash where that was supposed to be. So that guy probably won't show up for the remake.
Dang.
Or he will. Maybe. I don't know.
Corey will.
See what our budget's like.
That guy. That man.
After a couple minutes, this character with kind of small white curled up hair, kind of like in this tight perm, with a pair of these big glasses, and has this black lab coat with a gold trim around the collar, begins to descend this staircase from one of the walls of the exterior of this garage that they're in now. He begins walking down. Oh, these are surprise visitors. As she gets down to the end here. Sorry for the late night travels you happen to make out here. I'm Dr. Larian. I am the current overseer of the Gold Wing for the CCP laboratories. Welcome. There's not much here. We'd be able to situate you in a refined testing chamber, put down some bedrolls for you all. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of accommodations for you. We'd be able to prepare you some MREs, maybe. Supplies must be kept to a minimum. But other than that, yes, follow me.
I follow.
Okay. Is there anything you guys do during this time? Or as she leads you into the facility, it's very much as you enter the main complex of this. you go up the stairs, leads you into kind of a series of elevators and stairs that seem to kind of like bounce around to different ones. Another, like, it'd be almost impossible to find your way out of here on your own, except for if you were like Ember, who has the cheat feet. It's like you get into an elevator, you go down a little bit, you get out, you walk across some hallways, make a left to go down a staircase, you go into another elevator, and it's a very like stacked and oddly constructed building. How this works. The lighting in this situation here, very much these LED platforms, kind of like these along the ceilings that are just barely emanating anything, almost like the place is conserving power at all times. Whether that's just the aesthetic they're going for, or they're trying to allocate power to something more important is unknown at the time. A lot of people probably haven't been in a facility like this. But it almost kind of seems asylum-esque, like you get into these long hallways and you just see these series of windowless doors with numbers on them. As you go and turn another corridor and see another series, a large window with like an empty testing chamber with some sort of large apparatus in the middle, whirling and making some sort of lights as you pass by, but you don't stick around these windows enough for it to give you any form of opinion on what could be going on. More of these doors, and eventually you guys clear out into this kind of, it seems almost kind of like a mezzanine / auditorium space that has a series of long tables out, and it looks, in this portion of the place, although the place has been sterile for the most part, very unused. If it could gather dust, based off of how it is here, there's probably like the smallest amounts lining the benches and whatnot. She leads you into this room and is like, well, I suppose you guys can stay in here while I gather the bedrolls for you. Enjoy your stay at the outpost, I suppose. At that point, the figure goes back in the direction from and it's probably going to be a series of places she's got to go in order to get some stuff for you. So you guys are here for a second. In this room where you're at right now is probably, trying to compare it to something, like the size of maybe like my backyard plus like you add like the 3 squares to it. It's not like a huge like a gymnasium style, but it's just a bigger open room. That's just kind of been put aside for odd situations like this. Being in the laboratory here, what do you guys do? Is there anything specific you wanted to do, or are you just waiting?
I'd like to address the group while we have a second. I assume we're like relatively alone here.
Nobody else is with you at this
Okay.
point. It's just Cloudman and the group.
Yeah.
That's right now.
So while we hang out here, I guess I should warn you guys. Do you remember back when we were in what I don't even remember what city it was in what the name of the city was at this point, where we had the incident at the hotel and had to switch rooms.
Oh, I think that was Rudenbaugh.
Rudenbaugh? I think you're right. It was the Louisiana one. Yeah. So do you guys remember back at Grudenbaugh when we were worried that there was somebody impersonating me?
Oh yeah, that spell thing.
Well, I don't.
Or whatever.
I'm not so sure anymore that was a spell, because I just got a phone call from my operator, and I think that my operator was the person who was impersonating me, and I think that they're with the Greycoats.
Why do you think that?
Because they told me that they are with the Greycoats.
Well, pretty hard to argue with that logic.
Solid.
I was about to ask too. Don't worry, you're not alone.
So you're your own operator.
I mean, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
Bunches on the phone
But-
for himself.
But to put a finer point on it, I think that this person is like me, and I don't just mean that they look like me. I think that they can change like me. and what I thought was the result of Dr. Quattro's spell, or whatever he put on me, was actually I was being followed by this person. So
They put a mark on you.
I don't know. Somehow he's been following me, and he says that he's been covering for me with the Legion, whatever that means. But you guys need to be careful, because we don't know if anybody that we could be talking to is actually who we're talking to, because this person, as far as I can tell, has malicious intent.
Do we need to come? Because my other concern is, what if something happens to you and they try to take your place?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, we can.
should come up with a code
I was
word.
gonna
or
say.
yeah.
That being said, I don't know. It feels like this person is monitoring me somehow, and I don't know. I don't really have any proof of that, but it feels like they're too close for comfort.
Every time we want to talk to someone in the group, we just need to go.
Yeah. No, I can come up with a code word, and then I can message it to each of you privately. So if someone's listening, unless they're in your head, if they're in your head, we're fucked anyway.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, I'm pretty much full of great ideas.
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think they're.
Calm down.
I don't think they're.
Can I not make a joke? Like, is this like just a really serious moment? Okay.
I thought it was serious. I wasn't going to say it.
God, man, you can't read a room worth of shit.
I mean, she's right.
No offense. No offense.
This room is too dark to read.
That's not okay. Well. Well, in any case, I don't think they're literally inside of my head, even though at this point I'm so paranoid that they might as well be. But yeah, I think that your plan is solid. So.
Okay. I'm going to message everyone individually. Peaches.
Peaches.
Be like, so nobody get a craving for that. And ask for it. So it'd be
Okay.
really convenient. Imra's like, man, but that sounds real dope.
That's really good.
The word is peaches.
Oh.
So I messaged that to everyone individually, and I said nobody get a craving for that and ask for
Okay,
it.
but like, do we just say it? Like, I feel like there should be like we.
It
have
seems
a
hard to
specific-
work in the normal conversation.
No, you're not
Seems
supposed
like-
to work it into a normal conversation. If we're ever unsure, like if we've been apart for a while, then I can just message and be like,
And
what's
then
code word?
leave.
What's code word? What's code word? What's
Yeah.
code word? And then you
I
guys
think-
can respond to my message.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if it's like just me and Hostel and I can't message Hostel?
You can like write it down. Or like whisper in his ear.
What if
Or
it
tell
were-
him in the sitting zone.
What
Or
if it
text
were-
him.
What if it were like a question and answer thing? Like
Yeah.
one of us asks a question and the answer is
like a riddle.
always this, and so then
Yeah, code words tend to work best if they sound like something that comes up in normal conversation. You ask a question that sounds like an inane question, and you give a very specifically worded response that sounds like that is the code word. So if
Okay, well you
no
seem
one
like a really good,
listening
more
in
military person, so maybe you should come up.
realizes you've just had that exchange.
Okay.
It just sounds like normal conversation.
Oh, like Dean and Sam, when Dean was tied up and he calls Sam on the phone, he's like, yeah, it's a real crazy town. Crazy town was the phrase, so that way Sam knew he was in
Who the
trouble.
fuck are Dean and Sam?
You've never watched Supernatural? It's like this old show.
Even I have seen
I
Supernatural.
spent a lot of time at home, okay?
Of course, Climate has seen Supernatural.
I did not understand it, but it was good.
what about the coffee in Peru is very hot.
No. I think that's a little too.
What a,
And then the answer is the coffee, but the
we could
Yeah.
do like a town name.
I hate you.
Poughkeepsie?
I mean that's a direct Supernatural reference.
I even got that one.
I've been watching all of Supernatural.
Is it so we could be like, oh yeah, when we're done here, we're gonna have to go to New York or whatever, but not New York because
That was very subtle.
Melody's not so good with the undercover shit.
I'm being extra dramatic right now. I have a really high deception. It'll be fine. I'll take off my pants. They'll believe me.
Oh my god.
Well, which direction do we want to go would be the question. And something like, well, Rudenba is too hot this time of year will be the answer.
Right.
Okay. Or
It
we're like,
needs-
we're
it
not
needs
allowed
to-
to go back to Rudenba because we kill people.
Well.
Well, I
But that's
kill
just the
people.
truth.
I cannot go back. Oh, that was my battle, by the way.
See, yeah, but
Okay,
it needs to
I see what
sound.
you're saying.
Yeah, it needs to be something that sounds like it can come up in normal conversation
Mhm.
instead of just out of nowhere, say talking about Peruvian coffee or something.
Like the balloon. Oh yeah.
No, I think that's a good plan.
Rip. Oh, there's a little bit left.
So is this going to be our code if something's wrong, or if that everything's
Um,
okay?
I think
If,
it would
like-
just be a check to see if like
to see if
Okay.
we're still ourselves.
you're
Okay.
still yourself.
Yes.
You would just ask the question, and then if the answer is correct, then. We move
And so,
on.
do we want to do just that specific phrase, or is it just a phrase that is
Similar.
written
Like
like
answers
that?
the question correctly.
I mean, the most secure would be we would have to repeat the phrase back word for word.
Mm.
Yes.
However, I don't know if we can totally trust.
Maybe we should have two phrases. One,
What if they are in the room with us right now?
I mean, that is a possibility, Cloudman.
is it you? What's the phrase? I'm just kidding.
I did not. What? There was a phrase? I thought we were still kicking.
We are.
He's the imposter, kill him!
Oh no! I have come so far!
He didn't say peaches.
Peaches! I guess I die.
I shoot fireball.
Yeah. What if we have
Holy
like
shit.
two phrases
The whole place
and
on fire.
one is like, okay, we're all good, and one is like something's bad and we're trying to alert each other that something's bad without like just screaming fire.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Because I mean, we could use peaches for like something bad. I mean, I could be like, man, really wanting some peach cobbler. I don't know. You know, it's like,
Everything's peachy.
yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
that's
That's
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
it's
This is
peaches.
very, it's
Oh,
very
I'm gonna
easy. I feel like I
fucking
could say
forget
them by
and say
accident.
everything's when it really is. Just kidding, that's fine.
It's peaches.
I mean, good. Like, I will not continue. I am the imposter after all.
And then if we're doing the check-in, we can say like, yeah, which direction should we head? And then do we want to do, not Rudenba, it's too hot this year? Something
It's
like that?
too hot in Rudenba this time of year.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool.
Something like that.
Let's write that
that shit
down.
How the hell do you spell Rudenba?
Peaches.
I should have it. I'll post it though.
It's just spelled like rutabaga, but you pronounce it different.
That doesn't help
So
me.
okay, so the question is, where should we head next, or something like that? And the answer is Ruden.
Typed it out.
I know, but then it disappeared.
Oh.
Rudenba is
It's too hot in
it is
Rudenba this time.
too hot this time of year.
Oh wait, what did I mess up?
It's too
matter
hot
for
in
me.
Rudenba this time of year.
Or Rudenba is too hot this time of year, so
Okay.
insert
Yeah,
other
fair.
city.
Yeah.
Insert city of your choosing because that's
Peaches
no longer part of the
equals
response.
shit is bad. So really, any kind of like variation of peach is how we can work it in.
What direction should we head? Well, I heard California's peachy.
And we're like, wow.
Oh, shit.
Indy's dead.
And then our
It'd be
heart
really
stops.
awkward if somebody forgets. They get all killed and stuff.
Yeah.
I already forgot.
Cool.
Fucking great. Okay, so I'm gonna call these code phrases. Code phrases.
Okay, and the question is going to be which direction should we head?
Yeah, like something along the lines of where should we head next?
Or the specific question, which direction should we head?
Which
would be
direction should
the call for
which
the
direction
response.
should we head next?
And then
Rudenba is too hot this time of year.
feels a little culty, and I'm here for it.
And that's the only response that we have.
I'm gonna take tons of time.
Kayla, can you grab my ice cream on your way down? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, do we not have two different responses or just the one?
We do.
We do?
The bad
Okay.
is gonna be some like variation of
Okay.
that.
Work the word peachy in.
Yes.
To your response.
Peachy keen.
What is it exactly? One more time.
I just said some variation with peachy. Like
Yeah,
everything's
so-
peachy or like.
Yeah. The good is which direction should we head, and Brunenbach is too hot this time of year. Bad is literally any response working in the word peach or peachy.
But I thought you guys were making this so you could avoid the other changeling.
Perhaps.
But that person wouldn't know either of those things.
Well, yes, but like the
But this
bad
is
would be
something
like the
normal.
distress.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's right
That we
over
know
there.
something's wrong, you know.
So this is just so that we can alert the party without.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Without
Wait.
alerting the other
Oh.
changeling.
Peaches, and the word peach is our safe word.
Peaches! Peaches!
Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
Peaches.
Peaches! Ooh! Peaches! Too hard, too hard.
Peaches.
And you know, if something
No, we're
bad
driving
happens, we're
over
not
the
gonna be
lines.
able to tactfully say. We're just gonna be like,
Peaches! Peaches! Peaches!
In the floor!
Peaches!
Well, that's fine. In Vox Machina, they do Jenga. And there's like, Jenga, 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 Jenga.
Oh my god.
That defeats the purpose. We should just say help, 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 help.
Andrew, could
What?
you give me a spoon?
Oh my god.
oh no, we got a peanut sack.
Sneaky today. I was like, this is probably a bad idea. Let me try to.
Juice.
Did we?
Alright.
Be very nice to my spoons, Gorilla Grip.
I mean, I don't have to break it out of a freaking.
Watch my magic trick. I'm gonna do that.
Grip.
Nice.
You want something for dinner?
I'm honestly not hungry. It just you get a
I got in trouble in grade school once I figured out that you could just bend any spoon you want. I just bent a bunch of
You
spoons.
really can.
Oh,
Yeah.
child.
Bend any spoon you want.
Kyle, why did you bend the spoon? I
A
don't
little
know.
bit, a little bit
I
after.
could. I
A
could.
little bit after your conversation here, Dr. Larian and a couple other of the doctors that are, or the researchers that are here, come in with arms full of bedrolls and pillows and whatnot, and they kind of situate them either on the ground in front of you or over on some of the benches that kind of line this room.
Okay.
Bring them in here. It's like, I can always go and get you guys some snacks if you need anything. Unless you're here for any specific research in the facility, there's really no other business that we have for each other. So I'll be probably on my way for the evening, and I'll
Snacks would be awesome, honestly. Thank you so much, Dr. Larry.
Thank you for your help. That'll be all tonight.
I'm starving. We just had a huge fight.
Oh my god. We haven't eaten this entire time and now you're gonna be...
I know, I'm
That's
famished.
not true. I've been eating things in the van.
God, man, eat my ass. Get out of here.
Don't think that this cemetery.
Yum.
Okay.
If we need assistance or help with anything, who do we contact and how do we contact them?
Oh, that's very fair. Yeah, let me send you over my personal number. There's normally not a whole lot of outfitting in this room for alarms, so yeah, here. And so whoever wants to would have Dr. Larian's number, would hand it to you.
I'll put it in my tablet.
My tab. My tip tab. Okay.
Could you,
Your tableau.
What's the name? Dr. What?
Larian.
Larian.
Is that like RRYAN?
Larian.
Not Larry Ann.
If not, yeah, I'd be able to get some fruits or some instant meals for you to eat through the night if you guys are in too bad of shape.
That would be
I
really
apologize
nice.
for the lack of hospitality. Our staff here is very low right now.
Oh, and I mean, if you like want to set the kitchen, like I can prepare.
There is no kitchen. This is a
If you point me to a vending
This
machine,
is
I
a,
can,
Shelter.
This is an outpost
I can get like
for
a.
research purposes.
I can if you
Well,
point
what
me
do you
to the vending machine.
We have, like I said, we have instant meals that we keep in like a warehouse or something. We don't have a kitchen.
Well,
I
that
like
makes sense.
instant food.
It's like some ramen, microwave ramen.
Yeah, microwave.
They probably have
If
like
you
a-
guys aren't comfortable in one big room as well, I know this was a little rude of me. I could always accost a couple of our domicile rooms. They're very small, but you'd at least have some privacy there, just along the walls.
I don't
here.
think we need privacy. I think we're
We're pretty close knit group.
That's fine. Very fair. Just trying to be hospitable.
no.
This
That was great. Thank you. We
Hey.
like, I don't want to put you out any more than me asking for a snack did.
Of course. Anyway, I'll be off. I'll most likely be here in the morning to see you out. Thank you very much.
Bye.
So she kind of snaps for her research friends to follow her. The people that are with her here have
She walks away.
like less grandiose coats. They're more of just kind of like button-up shirts tucked into slacks. But they have the same gold-rimmed collar on them. These doctors and researchers, as they leave out the door with them, and the door shuts, and you guys are left to the device. There's just kind of like this very dim kind of black light above you here. It's if there was cum in this room, you'd see it. You know. No,
Oh,
it's-
it's a black light?
Yeah. That's. Haven't you ever heard about like going
That
over a room
was-
with a black light?
Oh, I
not
have.
necessarily
Okay.
black
That
light,
was
but it's
not
like
a
it's-
clarification that I cared to have.
You would know. I'm just saying you would know. It looks sterile. But you're in here by yourselves.
Okay.
All right.
The implication here is that we know that there isn't, right?
No, that isn't what?
Come.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Okay, fine. Talk me into it.
What do I see?
This was
are
his
you
like-
fucking kidding
Roll
me?
another one.
You roll 1 for cum.
22. Some
What do you-
bullshit roll. I rolled
You
great.
swear to the corner of your eye, you can see something on the other end of the doorknob as she shuts the door.
Ew.
Gross.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I got a dirty 20 on that one.
An 11.
I don't want to know.
Gross.
You go to
After
it?
all my
Sure.
time, I know
Uh-huh.
not to look.
You open the door back up as the people leave. You look on the other side of the handle on it. It's nothing necessarily noticeable on the front. It seems like that's relatively clean. But if you peek from the backside, it's just caked in dry blood.
Like on the
Do we
outside.
This
is
is sketchy.
That-
What
that-
happened to
it's one of those,
Lua?
like, turn like this handles, like one of those
Okay.
metal ones you'd
Where's
see at a
this
school.
bitch at?
And that's like the
And
handle
it's
on the
it's
outside
on
of the door.
the inside part, like
Where your
someone
fingers
would have
go?
wiped. Yeah,
Yeah, but on the outside of the door.
outside's perfectly clean.
Like, not the inside handle, the outside handle.
Like into the hallway.
I don't know what you're talking. Yeah, the
It's
outside,
like-
the hallway side.
Okay, yeah, the one
Yeah.
facing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hallway.
Okay. It's like,
It's not cum.
Okay.
It's blood.
Great.
Sorry,
Well, that's something.
but yeah, it's just dried blood that wasn't cleaned up.
Okay. Can I look at the room side handle and see if there's anything on that?
Yeah, using the same roll here, that doesn't appear to match the case. This was something that was like, you can infer was just kind of the person running in this condition.
Cool. There was some blood. I don't know what to do about it, but
I mean, to be fair, we're also covered in blood.
Is it that moment where you feel like a slight little
Oh no.
blitz of
Just
hands
be-
running
just-
between everybody here as the greater invisibility spell wears off of Lua, standing like on one of the tables nearby.
Why are you the most dramatic person that's ever existed?
Shut your mouth.
Swooning.
also starts just clapping.
Keep it up.
She's such a badass bitch.
I know she is.
She takes a
Kill
sip
that
out of a
thing.
flask. It's just water. But
We don't
alright.
know that.
So, where the hell are we trapped? What is this place?
Where the hell? It is an outpost.
Great.
Whatever
We're not
that-
technically trapped anywhere. Like,
Well-
we're here with our own volition.
This is, according to the doctor, something CCP related. So this is a lot of a test. I can only assume a testing grounds. Lovely.
I mean, for tonight, it's where we're napping, and then I think we're leaving.
Well, I can deal with a nap. Let me just see myself to my own private room. Oh wait,
This-
we
no.
refused the private rooms. I forgot.
Well, you
Could
weren't
be
really
well,
here to
we'll be
provide
just in the
input.
front. Yeah, I would have. They would have all changed
Why,
it.
why you gotta bring that up, Mr.
I mean, we wouldn't have.
Well, I am technically part of the CCP.
Okay, so then you can make sure that we're not gonna get experimented on.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's more that I just know that being experimented on is a distinct risk.
Roll a history check with advantage for me. As you are a member.
Unless
Main
Mistress is
laboratory.
super spaced for some reason.
She's like, no, we're gonna get figgity fucked, guys.
It's an engine gauntlet all over now.
Oh my god, an arc within an arc.
That was a 10 and an 11.
Oh,
So it's an 18 after my
thank
modifier.
God. I know your intelligence is pretty good. Okay. An 18?
Yeah.
Okay, with an 18, you definitely recognize from the uniform and the collaring here, these guys are part of the Gold Wing. The Gold Wing functions a little bit differently from the labs where you guys here. These guys work almost entirely off of commissions from the upper echelon. They don't start experiments unless they are, ordered to. And it's normally large projects from time on end. With a roll over 15, you definitely know that the Gold Wing have been away for a while now. For almost 2 months. You haven't seen any gold tier or gold wings in your facility. You assume they had something to do with the current project that you've been hearing around the office. As this facility had been talked to about it, you've heard rumors about the facility being one of the outposts. These are Gold Wing members.
Hostel, you said you saw dried blood on the door handle.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Just didn't tell him.
No, he did.
I'm
I
joking.
thought he did.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Yeah, he said, he's like, I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that information. Mistress, do you think there's any kind of connection between that, the experiment, and the fact that they are currently down a lot of people?
It's a possibility, but I can't say for sure. It could simply be that somebody was bleeding. Somebody
Very
might have
astute
been
observation.
trying to open an MRE and slipped onto their knife.
While trying to open the door.
You sound like you've been thinking of alibis.
Hostle's eyes just keep getting wider and wider.
What is the code word, mistress?
Oh no, we told you. It is too late.
It's true. Well,
It may be that there are threats in the desert separate from the experiment that could have caused this.
They were just attacked.
Is my thought, but we can't discount the possibility that it has to do with the experiment.
it's a fair point.
Everyone's so loud.
As Lua is laying on a bench in the far other corner of the room.
Do you want some earplugs?
No, I just like to talk.
I throw a pebble at her.
Weird tone.
Ow.
To talk.
What do you want to talk about then?
I don't.
Why do you think
I'm
she's on
being
the opposite side of the
sarcastic.
room?
I want to go to bed.
Okay, well then go to bed.
I'm trying.
Ooh.
You are so loud.
Throw another pebble.
Roll a hit.
Oh
See if we can have another fisty here.
Oh no.
Don't want you to get too comfortable, darling Lua. This is not supposed to be a friendly sitcom.
Is this how my second character
She goes,
Is this-
eeny, meeny, mo.
Eeny,
This is
meeny,
take,
miny,
you
miny.
take 89 necrotic damage as your body withers away.
This is just gonna be the running joke. Hostile attacks Lua, my character dies.
Yes.
Rinse, repeat.
And Jeeves like,
Oh,
it's
fuck,
fine.
where's
I
my
have
sad
so
music?
many in the
I actually
wind.
kind of love that though. That's hilarious.
I don't.
Oh, no, not really.
7?
Yeah.
No, it bounces. She still goes, ow. It clearly missed. She's just endearing you.
Sweetheart.
Okay, what do you guys do?
Guess we shut the fuck up and go to sleep.
Yeah, she'd like that, wouldn't she?
Little cranky pants over there.
I like put my backpack up to like lay my head on. But I'm like laying on my side just glaring at Lua.
Is there any other like identifying features of this room, or is it just pretty basic?
I mean, there's two doors in the whole room. There's one that you guys came in. There's one that's going out. They're both on opposite sides of the places. You have the benches and whatnot. The center of the room is very vacant. Nothing in here. If this was one of the testing chambers, it looks like it was repurposed just for putting random shit. And at this moment, there's not even much of that.
Okay.
No motivational posters or anything.
No, hanging there with the cat.
Nothing. Nope. It's just overall very quiet. Like all through the area, you feel like you're just kind of trapped in like a cold, empty, abandoned place. You feel like if this facility was more official, it'd be maybe a little more active. Other than that, but right now there's barely anybody here. At least you can tell from just the atmosphere. But you haven't really explored much of the place. The doors aren't locked, and there's nobody around. That's the most defining thing.
Okay.
I'm really paranoid and kind of want to see if someone wants to stay up to keep lookout for a little bit.
I mean, I don't think it would be a bad idea to slip shifts.
Have my familiar keep watch. Fox noises are loud.
Oh, I thought you were going to summon the ghost. I was like, no, not that one.
Oh my god, that would be
I was
terrifying.
like, God,
This
get
horrific,
that away from me.
this horrific wraith just like circling
It
everywhere.
turns and goes, and it was like,
Yeah, no, that's that way we don't have to sleep in shifts and yeah, sounds good to me. What?
I was gonna say as well, I do have also my I can transform mine into a hawk or an owl.
And like nobody has like alarm or anything.
Mm-mm.
I think I'll just snap my familiar into existence and instruct it to make the loudest goddamn fox noises it can if somebody walks into the room.
okay.
It's gonna. It's.
So you're gonna put it on the outside of the door?
Oh, I was just gonna put it in the middle of the room.
Oh, okay.
Just somebody walks in, loud ass noises.
That's the action that's being held. Okay. Perfect.
It just makes me think of that Brandon Whipple tweet about the foxes.
What?
Oh my god. The mayor of Wichita?
I did not see it.
Oh, a few months ago, he tweeted, attention Riverside folks, we've heard from many of you about the screaming sounds coming from the park. We want to let you know that thanks to Parks and Wildlife, we've looked into it, and it is some foxes taking advantage of mating season. Good for them.
Great. What a hero.
Good for them.
So,
Good
for what
for
it's
them.
worth, here's some.
Oh no.
So we know what to hear. I like the idea. I like to think that Mistress is pulling this up on her phone to show us, like, hey, this is what we have.
It's like barking.
Ah! Yeah, I don't like that.
Mama.
No.
Horrific.
Fucking, that was not what I wanted.
Everyone rolling.
Super
shit.
embarrassing. That is not ambient background noise. I'll just kill myself.
Hey, lower all of your blankets upstairs.
Oh. Grab a big strong head.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab a blanket.
Stop.
These are
There should be one on the couch.
These are what noises?
This is two foxes screaming at each other.
Oh, I've seen that video.
They're very rude.
Yeah. So it will just be awakened by the sound of screams.
Alright.
Hell yeah.
Who here is going to bed?
I think everyone.
Mistress is dead. Craftle is dead.
I have one spell slot left, so I really need a long rest here.
Cloudman is dead. Mr. Moudman, what are you doing?
Models stay up for a little bit. Just
Okay.
like laying awake.
Okay. Melanie,
I'll go to sleep.
go to sleep as well.
Am I also
Ember, are
dead?
you going to bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sleepy.
You be the last one in the place there. As you are sitting there, is there anything particular you want to think about or recall as you're in this outpost right now?
Oh, not really. I mean, I'm probably thinking about how in the morning I'll confront Dr. Larian and ask about the experiment. But
As you're thinking about this, you remember the conversation you had with Voice, with the Grey Coat, and the conversation about confirming your allegiance, finding out more. You also have on your phone as well, that was sent after that phone call, a series of clearance codes that seems to have been acquired and sent to you specifically for some sort of use. Other than that, you're left to your devices. Everyone else, you hear the slow ambient noise of your friends drifting off, and the room becomes less of a silent coffin and more of a room of familiarity resting and there with you during your journey.
Yeah.
And if you had nothing else, you'd most likely drift off.
yeah, eventually once the paranoia and the racing thoughts succumb to exhaustion. Yeah. Hmm?
There are a series of loud
Quiet.
thumps on your window, Indy. Which is odd. Who would be smacking your bedroom window at this time of night?
Romeo?
As you're jolted awake from the slumber of your room.
Looks like Mama's.
As you
listening
open
to
your eyes,
Andrew.
it's almost as if the room around you apparates at the exact same time. The photos on the walls just kind of slap into existence. The desks and whatnot, the bed frames kind of assemble themselves up in an eerie mist. The window goes from a black, nothing outscape to an expanse of the world that's outside, which isn't much to look at begin with. But you hear loud on the window.
Hello? I'm gonna peek out the window.
You peek out the window, and it's the craziest thing, as it doesn't seem like it was one hand hitting the window multiple times, but there are a series of at least 17 gloves just slapped against the side of the window
What the
here.
hell?
Something like little Mickey Mouse gloves with the little black spots just smacking into it over and over again, like
Wow.
pieces of like bugs hitting a windshield, and you hear just the muffled.
That's real weird.
I'm gonna get back in bed. I'm horrified.
You turn around to get back in bed, and there's an individual sitting where you once were laying down.
Motherfucker!
It's an individual very similar to one of the figures that you met last time you were in this room. A figure that is almost entirely translucent in this kind of assassin's garb with completely hollowed out eyes that seems to stare at the ground. It's perched like this, like maybe didn't even was here the whole time but wasn't visible until you moved from its position that it spawned in.
Excuse me?
The figure doesn't even look up.
Huh? Can I help you?
It's at this point, the window door flings open on its own, and a series of what almost seems like confetti blasts through the door, which is just this circulation of gloves being controlled by this weird dark green mist, as this kind of caped figurine with this big bright kind of clown head is kind of blitz through the room. It almost looks like one of those figurines that like a little golf ball that has like the tissue paper wrapped over it
Oh,
and is
yeah,
tied
yeah.
up to look like a little ghost. That's very much what it looks like, and there's these series of gloved hands just kind of whirling around it as it blasts through the door, collides with one of the different
one of the different walls adjacent to it, knocking some of the picture frames, which almost immediately suck back to the wall magically. And it starts colliding, and it's like, oh Lord, the storm is a brewing! And it's just grabbing and throwing shit, which is getting sucked back into right afterwards. And he just flings the window back down as this happens. Almost all of the gloves just kind of suck back up into the anus of this ghost. And there's only two left here, just kind of hovering here. And it's just like, oh Lord, that was crazy.
Who are you?
Where am I? Wait.
What?
Who are I? You, who am... Woo! The storm was crazy. Hold on. I need a drink. Do you have anything in this place?
No.
As the ghost kind of flutters over to the other side and tries to open up the opposite door, and it just doesn't open. It's like, oh, maybe I should have stayed outside. There's no booze in here. I might as well be in prison.
Just stay here.
Okay, then get out.
Hey, I know you. You were at the party last week, weren't you? No. Oh, no, that... No. No one survived that party. Have we met?
I don't think so.
Nice to meet you. One of the gloves pops out. I am Depth.
Hello, Depth.
What is your name, Rude? Is that it? Are you Rude?
Sure.
Rude's the worst. Okay. Like, if I have to talk to Rude right now, Oh! The ghost kind of just flops onto the ground. Man, will you not believe the storm outside? Someone out there is really pissed.
Who?
I don't know. One of us. There are all sorts of us around there trying to find this place. Someone's pissed, though. I do not want to deal with him this time of night. Isn't that right? And he points to that guy that's sitting stationary on the bed. Once again, doesn't move. Just... The characters are always like, hey, how about you? Points over to the wall, and remember it's on the other side next to your mirror is this stone tree character with kind of like the sad crestfallen face that's simply kind of adorned like this, and lets out a long sigh with its this crestfallen face. Doesn't respond either. It's like, this is not the party I was invited to.
How did I get here?
It's an excellent question. I got in through the window. How did you get here?
No, I just woke up here.
Well, shoot. Well, if that's the case, maybe we can do a little experimenting, huh? Let's trash the place, see what happens. One of the gloves pops out and comes like this, changes from this white to kind of a red and expands like a big Hulk hand and just punches the mirror next to it. It shatters to 1,000 pieces and then sucks back in. The spiderweb sucks away. Back to a normal mirror. That's no fun. Not fun at all! Oh, if I can't break stuff in here. Well, you try. I just want to see if you can do it.
Okay.
He strokes, one of the glove strokes his non-existent facial hair on this kind of like blank, happy face looking top of the figure.
Is there anything in the room that I could use to throw at the mirror?
Yeah, there's a series of picture frames that are aligned on the desk next to the stone tree. There's also like a chest with all sorts of different toys and whatnot in it. You'd be able to go into and grab like a wiffle bat or something out of.
Perfect.
Okay.
I grab a wiffle bat.
You get wiffle bat,
and
which is
snap the
a
mirror.
+2 magic weapon. Yeah.
Great.
No. You go smash the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
1d0 plus 2.
You take the mirror, you smash it, and as you smash the mirror, it blasts away, and the wall behind it does as well.
Oh shit.
And it just clears out to this open black expanse of the storm. You just hear this roaring wind of, at first sounds like just a severe typhoon, but you can hear it's just angry yelling in the distance of hundreds of iterations of voices. But it doesn't heal back up. After you did this.
Okay.
Oh, how come you can break stuff?
I'm special. I don't know.
No, you're not.
Clearly.
I'm special. You're just you're just rude. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nothing special about being rude. Anybody can be rude.
You're right.
It takes talent though to be deep. And the hands kind of pose like this weird, horrible, like JoJo hand pose across itself
Oh my
here.
god.
And multiple others give other sorts of weird gang signs out from underneath it. I don't know if I should stay here too long. Company here is really not my style.
Fair.
But I wish you great success on your journeys. I think I'll bear the storm. It's nice to rest for a few, though. And Ghost begins to spin and sucks out the window. Or not the window, the broken hole through the mirror that you just created. Right after that happens, the reparations occur. So I was kind of waiting for him to get out. Almost like you subconsciously wanted him not to come back in.
Mm.
And just like that, sure enough, it's sealed up behind.
Huh.
You're left in this kind of ghostly version of your childhood room with these two figures that are completely unresponsive to you, that are sitting on opposite ends here. Is there anything specific you do? Your old friends from the previous iteration are not here.
I'm just gonna sit on the bed next to Stoic Guy.
The stoic guy sits next to you here. And you swear for a second as you're sitting there, you see in just the periphery of your vision, just him. But if you look up, just quickly darts his head back down.
So what are you doing in my bedroom?
He reaches into his coat. He's actually responding without even looking up from where he was looking down here. Holds over a cigarette to you.
Okay. Put it in my mouth.
It is not lit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna light it. I'm just gonna hold it there.
Just being polite.
Just
His
look cool.
hand pops out from the other end. A little baby flame appears from the tip.
Dope. I
Just
light it.
Like a tiny little, like an LED attachment just pops open and
I light the cigarette. I don't inhale it. I just like suck it into my mouth and then blow it right back out. I don't breathe it into my lungs because I'm a little bitch. But
Just the liver, not the lungs.
yeah.
you hear this kind of loud groan come from it. Just,
Thank you. You're frustrating me, man.
the head kind of looks up for a second. Holds one of its arms outwards. Displays its fingers open. As he does this, the zero eye socketed man twists his head at you. And you can see deep within is an empty void. And as this happens, the sound of the wind buffeting the outside of the house goes silent. You try to talk, but you can't hear anything. You look down at your hands and they begin to disappear. You look at your walls and they begin to disappear as well. You look back at him and he's already gone. And then you feel a tap on your shoulder. You're awake.
Oh, thank God.
Darling, do you perhaps know where the restroom is in this place?
I don't.
No? Shall we go explore and find one?
Sure. I'm not going back to sleep. Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.
Let's not be too quiet during this. Anyone want to roll, like, what's everyone's passive perception here? That's all I know.
10.
14.
Just so she can be stealthy
13.
here.
Hang on.
She rolled really well. Not sure it's gonna matter. Yeah, 15 plus 7 is gonna be 22. I don't think anyone has a passive over 22, unless anybody was actively staying awake, in which maybe Maud can roll a.
Is passive perception just like on dice cards? Does it show up as like the parentheses?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay. Yeah, it's just an 11.
If I was playing Clifton, I have a passive of 24.
Freaking Cliff.
How's
man.
that possible?
Yeah, Cliff is freaking ridiculous.
'Cause
What's
he-
that?
He has
If you-
advantage on perception checks and a
Does that
plus
give you
9 to
double?
perception.
That gives you +5 to passive.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it assumes so passive assumes you've rolled a 10. If you have advantage, your passive gets a +5 to it. Assumes you rolled a 15.
Oh, okay. I can roll if you. Andrew, I can roll if you want me to. I mean, Maud would probably be sleeping like not super heavily, but just because of
Yeah.
the events of the day.
I'll let you do perception.
Yeah, I'll roll for perception. It's a 19.
Close.
As you get up, yeah, it's like, shall we go to the restroom?
Yes.
Need any help up?
No, I'm okay.
We're girlfriends.
I don't want you to
please.
touch me. I'm
She
scared
hasn't
of
gone to
you.
the bathroom yet.
Can I go to the bathroom with the person who literally
Oh.
tried to kidnap you?
I forgot, this is my killing hand. This is my bathroom hand.
Yeah, I can walk myself. Thanks.
Gross. That's fair. Can't blame you for trying.
She doesn't kill. She
You
doesn't,
guys
she doesn't kill where she shits.
leave out one of the doors that you guys came in, and it's not even seems like Lua has any idea where she's going. But begins kind of strolling down one of these hallways with you here. It's like, oh, can't say I've killed a whole village before. Isn't that a bucket list for some people?
Maybe some people, not this people.
That's fair. I don't suppose that most people get around deserts either. We're making all sorts of checklists today, man. I really should have brought my diary. Oh! You guys walk for a little bit. It's very kind of menacingly silent as she leads the way here, just kind of stumbling, kind of very delicately yet kind of sickly at the same time, as she's very tired and there's clearly something afflicting her from like the info you picked up from before, but it's nothing that's keeping her like from showing via brevity or her levity and whatnot. After a little bit of walking around the corner, she turns like, I'm gonna be completely blunt with you. I really want to take you back to this town. Do you want to go and just get it over with?
No. I don't do anything without talking to my group.
That's fine. Let me riddle you this. Let me just riddle you this. If I can
Laurel
get
and Hardy
some
over
sort
here.
of bargain out of this. Your friends are not absolutely not going to continue their little quest without you. I realize that. And I kind of want you to continue the quest, because you're going somewhere I want to go. What if I promised to bring you back fine? Then would you come?
How would I know I can trust you?
I don't lie. Lying's for the weak. Lying's for people that have something they need to cover up, some fragility in their eye. I do not have such a thing. Therefore, I don't need to lie. I am here to fulfill a contract with the Jamesons, and the contract stated bring you back. Do whatever the fuck I want with you once I do that.
Insight.
Do it.
Do you want red sauce?
No. $15.
Do you want tomatoes?
15?
Forgot ordering some food.
Yeah.
Can I get in on this and then we?
Lua's face is pretty serious during this series here,
Or do you want chocolate?
and
Good deal.
Would you like?
Cheesy burrito.
you also feel like if she wanted to, she could easily force you to go by now. You're all by yourself. There's no one else around. You're in an environment where it would be hard to tell if someone teleported away if you just got lost in the hallways. There seems to be some sort of attempt to gain trust here.
Can I leave a message for my friends?
you can go tell your friends, but I guarantee you they're gonna throw a big ass fit.
I
You
know,
realize
that's why I
that,
want
right?
to leave a message.
Like, I just want my paycheck, okay? I don't want to cause a fuss. In theory, we'll be back before the morning. Although I probably have to wake up you folks. I'm
That's
completely
fine,
serious
fine.
with you.
Alright, let's get it over with. Let's go.
No message. You can choose killing hand or the bathroom hand.
I'll go with
They're both
bathroom
gross.
hand.
I'll show you. Bathroom hand, you nasty.
I don't want to die.
Takes it out. You take her hand?
Yeah.
She pulls in a long inhale.
Ooh.
As she does, she pulls out a little knick-knack from within her robe. It seems to be some sort of material from a home of hers that she focuses on. Hold your breath. And as you do, you're standing outside of a lower district home in Palegrass, Mississippi.
Great.
Morning time comes. Indy's not in the room with you.
I like roll over. I'm like Andy. Guys,
What?
I throw something at Hostel.
Like a pillow or something? Like your guitar?
You're under attacks!
I didn't ask how big the room was.
Hey,
I guess fireball.
Indy and Lou are missing.
God damn it.
I told you she would do this!
The fuck?
She used to kill her! No, I
It's
think
not the
dead.
time, Cloudman.
I'll pull
Our
out.
friend is dead. What are you talking about?
You don't know she's dead? We don't have a body?
Why don't we just call her real quick?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll pull out my
Yeah.
phone and try to call Indy.
So we got the benefits of a long rest.
You did get the benefits of a long rest. You
Well, that's the important
all
thing.
are charged up and ready to go off.
I mean, I'm scared about Indy, but I'm more scared about my spell slots.
Okay.
I mean, we have to
That's what I
get
said, that's
to
the
end
important
these,
part.
I mean, that's fair. Okay, yeah, it doesn't really missing anything.
Okay. Well, if you're immediately calling Indy, I guess I'll come back to Indy then. Never mind, I was gonna give you guys time to fool around. Not
We're
bad, not bad, yeah.
rational.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do.
I was
There
wondering-
is reception here in this laboratory, despite you being so far down. This building isn't meant to be a prison for its own assembly members. So you are able to get some sort of connection to be able to reach the outside. Outside the building of Palegrass. Damn it. Hate everybody.
Damning is great.
You appear on the roads here, it's like, whew, time to walk. I don't think there's a lot out here. This would be actually a good opportunity for me to get some more kobolds. I don't think they found their way to our room, honestly. I think they could literally be anywhere. They don't turn invisible with me. I just told them to follow you. Did they follow you into that complex? Oh, damn it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to go get some more.
Just go grab some.
Jesus.
Do you want to lead the way to your house, or do you want me to? It'd be a little creepy if I do. It's your house, after all.
Lead the way to my own house.
You begin walking through Palegrass at this late hour, and it's a little odd because it's been like 5 to 6 days since you've left here. I'm not sure the exact number. I'll have to tally that up in a few, but you guys have been away for almost the amount of time that you left the Gauntlet. And walking through the streets here, it's very quiet, and it almost seems like there's an air of sadness about it. Not just because this is a place you've tried to escape for so long, but it's a place that kind of resembles or represents an area that you meet for solitude as a completion, that kind of your symbol that you guys survived the Gauntlet, a symbol that you managed to escape your house, become a soldier, and yet still be able to come back here without fear. You walk the streets, and there's not a whole lot of active life. It's only about maybe 11 p.m., maybe midnight. The streets are completely barren. I do want you to roll me a wisdom saving throw as you walk through here. 16. For a moment in the back of your head, you kind of get this like pinch in your temple, this like and like just ever so faintly, it feels like a tinnitus ring, but it's not the single high pitched note. It's just a series of like ever so faint white noise in the back of your head of static. You shake it away very fast though. Luau has a very similar reaction as well. It's like, oh lord, the atmosphere here is awful. Yeah, we should make this quick. Don't want to stay here any longer than possible.
Gladly.
Okay. You guys make your way up to the far north side of town. You cross the river that separates downtown from the upper districts where the relatively wealthier people live. And these are people, there's a large wealth gap between these people in your estates. There's a series of like estate bridges and whatnot, different gates you guys cross in order to get to the estate. But sure enough, you see this large mansion billowing over the night that you guys stand out in front of. Well, do you want me to wake him up, or do you want to?
I got it.
Okay. You're out the door. What do you do?
I just ring the doorbell like 10 times.
You ring the doorbell.
Yeah, I don't like them. Wake them up obnoxiously.
It takes a little bit, but the door opens, and it is your father, Todd Jameson, stands and sees you, which shocks him immediately, and then what shocks him even more is seeing the person next to you, which gives him like a flush of fear that wipes over him.
What's up, Dad?
He almost doesn't respond. He just kind of looks back and forth. It's like, let me get your mom. He rushes back and says, "Come in, please." He starts flipping on the different lights in the main lobby of the estate. He rushes up the stairs very quickly. He's in kind of like an assembled, yet relatively more of a rich man's nightgown as he goes up. After a couple minutes, sure enough, Valerie heads downstairs, and this was an event that you can assume Todd informed her about as he went up there, because she threw on something to wear. She wasn't about to go have this dealings, not in some sort of attire.
Bougie bitch.
She's not putting on that atmosphere, though. She's relatively panicked as she comes down. As she rushes down, she sees you and she makes contact with Luau, and she rushes up, almost completely disregarding you as well, and comes up to us like, "I'll have the funds transferred to your account immediately.
Oh no.
Thank you so much." And you see kind of like this pale sweat over her. It looks like a big relief has washed over her, but it's kind of odd what the reasons for that relief are. Because if you feel like it was for your sake, she would have come to you. But she goes up to her and she even reaches for Luau, but Luau kind of backs up and is like, "No, I do the touching."
Yeah, her hands are disgusting.
Yeah. They're different. I hate this group of people. I got your daughter back. Are we clear? As far as we were concerned, this was my last deed for the contract I have with this folk. I have no longer any dealings here now that my colleague who worked on the south side has been killed.
Oops.
That was Bluff, if you could recall.
Yep, that
Who
was
had
a.
been killing. He sure did get killed.
Who did that?
Valerie's like, "We can discuss the affairs of your contract later, Luau. It's..." She turns to Indy, is like, "Would you do me a big favor and go to your room?"
Excuse me?
You heard me. I I need you to do this for me.
Why?
Because this is important to the family that you stay here.
Why should I care what's important to the family?
Are you not even the slightest bit grateful we looked out for you your whole life? What are we to you? Go up to your room.
I'm an adult. You can't just tell me to go to my room.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This is something you can be a little bit more either honest or at least playfully deceitful about love. This is Lua talking to Slappy. Darling, she kind of turns down to you. It's like, your parents, they don't want you back. They need you back.
Huh. Why?
You do know that, right? Valerie's face kind of stiffens and looks up at her as like, now's not the time. Like, it's not important.
I go sit on like a living room couch. I ain't going upstairs.
Valerie kind of follows soon after, and is like trying to change the mood entirely. It's like she's trying to like go into a series of pleads of like trying to barter with you rather than order you at this point. She's realizing that's not going to entirely work. It's late at night. I can explain everything in the morning. I just need you to stay here for a little while longer. I didn't want to settle things like this, but we need you to be here until me and your father get some things settled out with some of our colleagues, okay? It's important.
You could have like called, but you sent a friggin' bounty hunter after me.
Do you think you would have listened to me if I called you?
Yeah, no, probably not. Good point.
No. Lua's been in the family for a while now, and I figured it would just be a simple task. It's taken this long. Just
Fuck it.
please.
Fine. I'm gonna sit up in my room.
You actually go up, and as you start heading upstairs, give me a perception.
15.
You hear an exchange between Valerie and Lua before you leave here. Valerie goes, "Fine. You've done your task, now go." And Lua says, "Okay. Bye." You head up to your room. You enter into a space with no figure posed on the bed, with no stone tree sculpted next to the mirror stand on the other side, with no horrible interdimensional storm blowing from the depths of the outside world. It's your old bedroom. Very haunting place for you, yet somewhere you've seen way more than you wanted to in the last couple days. You're free to go to bed, or do what you want.
I guess I can go to bed.
Okay. You're woken up by a phone call. It's from your good old friend Maud. And you get your spells back and stuff.
I answer the phone, and the first thing I say is, "Which direction are we headed?" Ha.
The weather is hot and brutal this time of year. What the fuck are you doing?
Good morning, Maud.
Clever of you to do that. Anyway.
I am tired of being chased down, so I was like, let's just get this shit over with.
So you just went with the murderer, the bounty hunter.
Yep, sure did.
Are you safe?
I'm asleep. Well, I was asleep in my childhood bed. Feels pretty safe.
Are
Maud, Are you talking to her?
Yeah,
Is she okay?
She's fine,
Is
I
she
think.
Does she want us to come get her? Because we will.
Has she mentioned peaches?
No, but she asked me for the code word.
Yeah, I heard you fuck it up.
Yeah. Are you the imposter, you son of a bitch? And I pulled my stuff out at you.
Even I would have gotten it right. Clap.
Oh my god! Somebody else talk to her. It's so
If
much
there's
pressure.
an imposter, I
I'll
bet he
take
can
the
change his
phone.
face too. I bet
Try
he
it.
can.
Try you, son of a
I'll
bitch.
I'll take your phone. Hey, what's going on?
I'm honestly not too sure.
Great.
I'm
Did Lua kidnap you?
no.
Why didn't you? Wait, what do you mean no? Like,
What do you mean? No?
She asked me if I just wanted to get this shit over with and said she'd bring me back as soon as we were done, and I didn't really know what else to do, so I just went.
and you like didn't think like leaving us a message would be a good idea?
Nope, sure didn't.
Man, it's almost like someone else in our group once did that.
I don't know what to show you about. You can't hear. I don't have her on speaker.
I heard you say
Are
that.
Are you coming? Are you coming back?
That's the plan.
Like when?
That's a good question.
You didn't like specify with that.
Nope,
Oh,
sure
okay.
didn't. Nope.
Is Lua there? Still?
Make a perception check.
Me?
Yeah.
She just.
Do a Lua check.
What's your Lua modifier?
That is a 14.
It's very easy enough. You flip over, she's laying in the bed with you.
Yes, you're right.
Imagine
Are
failing
you
that
guys
check.
fucking?
You
Are
guys
fucking?
are
You have to
so
tell me if you're
loud.
fucking.
No.
Okay, that's a relief. Insight.
The only fucking I'm doing is shutting the fuck up.
I didn't do good.
You a sassy bitch.
I'm trying to sleep, you harlot.
Put me on speaker.
Okay, I do.
Lua!
Shut up.
When are you bringing Indy back?
Well, I should be able to do my spells again now, so any moment.
Okay.
I had to sleep.
Yeah, I get that. You
Fair.
really talk about sleep a lot. You and
What?
Hostel have a lot in common.
Yeah, we both sleep once a day, you imbecile.
Sorry, I'm a little on edge. I woke up and my friend was fucking gone.
Yeah, that sounds pretty
And
crazy.
Indy was gone too.
If only we knew where she was. Oh, that's very sweet.
I was just
But-
kidding.
Oh, fuck you.
Hi, Lua.
Stop.
I don't have her on speaker.
I'm just like crawling over your shoulder.
Why would I'm not
God, your breath smells terrible.
I'm not friends with you. I killed your friend, remember? Use that as hate fire next time I'm alone with you. Either way.
Gets up and leaves.
Just trying to date her.
Either way, I'll get her back to you as soon as I can.
Okay.
Just give me a moment.
Okay. I'm gonna call back in 1 hour if she's not back.
Okay.
45
It's
minutes.
not my phone, I don't care.
30 minutes.
Use some of my minutes.
A few minutes?
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a really anticlimactic slumber party.
Sorry. You wanted to sleep.
It's fine.
Okay, so
I
now what?
forgive you. Well, is there any other business you want to do here? I'm not going to lie to you. Your parents are probably going to hire someone else if I take you back right away. Because I don't think you staying for one night is going to satiate them, darling. You're kind of their lifeline right now, and you do realize that.
Well, Valerie did say she would tell me what was going on in the morning, so I might see if I can get something out of her, and if not,
Oh,
ready to
really?
go.
You're not going to like it.
okay, I still need to know.
Oh, you ordered me food. How sweet.
Well, we got Taco Bell.
Pepsi. Like,
that's fair.
For some reason.
I think I might go peruse the shopping districts or whatnot. Do you want to meet over somewhere? I'll just be back here, honestly. Don't go too far.
Okay, sounds good.
If you make me look for you, I'll remember this.
Great.
She mentioned doors out.
Okay, bye.
She can't hear you.
She's gone.
Oh,
But you're in your room. It's the morning time. What do you do?
I'm going downstairs.
Okay, go downstairs.
It's a cold, empty lobby of the house you once used to live in. Very open, yet devoid of people to fill the space. After a certain amount of time, your mother does appear from downstairs in less of a meetings attire this time and more of her night gear. As she descends the staircase, she quietly and kind of embarrassingly sits on one of the couches near you and flips on the TV. Just trying to avoid a conversation right now, as this is not technically something that happens in a family every day.
So good morning.
Good morning.
You said we'd talk this morning. So talk.
What do you want to know? I wanted you home. You're home. Where you should be.
Why did you need me home?
Why does any mom want their daughter home?
I just don't believe that you wanted me home. I think you needed me here. And why?
Make a persuasion check.
Should have told Andy, if you
Never
have a
have to
conversation with your mom, just give me a call and put me on speaker.
16.
I'm very persuasive.
16?
Hmm?
This die is ridiculous. I rolled under a 15 all night,
Yeah,
God.
rub it in.
but I rolled a 15, so.
Dope.
You should trade that dice with Fountains.
She
Not
kind of
gonna
looks
help.
up in the air here, is like, I don't know if you remember this, because it was something that was forced upon you when company was over, or just something you chose to avoid. But we'd always have you hide what made you different when we had my guests over. Keep your tail hidden. Make sure that you blend in. If you can't blend in, then don't be seen at all.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very unwise for our family if the people of our town realized we were harboring someone like you.
Then why am I here? Just let me leave.
I mean, not now. Since you've been here.
What?
We're human.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right? Me and your father are human.
Then who the fuck am I? Or who are you? I don't.
You're a debt we're paying. And you're the reason we get away with so much in this town.
Oh, fucking crazy.
And it's the reason we need you so much here. Especially now that everything's going awry. You're an adult, surely you can understand and keep that to heart without making a mess of yourself.
What are you getting away with?
The esteemed guests that we've had in through the years of your life are not esteemed. They are underground hooligans that run the different factions of this town. It's the reason that we have such a horrendous amount of wealth compared to everyone else. Because this family calls the shots in Palegrass.
So if I leave, you'll just be
No.
normal then?
It's not. We're able to get away with all that we do because the Legion turns a blind eye because you are here.
Hmm. What do I have to do with the Legion?
I don't know. This doesn't mean anything to you now. A couple decades ago, a peasant from the eastern side of this town, Mr. Sutherland, dropped you off on our doorstep. you in, but not only days later were we assaulted by a series of members from the High Capital, accosting us, threatening to take us to the Grand Holdings and keep us there for life for harboring someone such as you.
Meta, does the name Sutherland mean anything to me?
Means something to Mod.
Roll a history check. It might.
Probably doesn't.
12.
12? You went and visited this person last time you were here.
Okay.
But we made a deal with them that if we kept you safe, we would be granted pardons here in the town. As long as you were kept safe, out of harm's way, where none of these rabble-rousers could deal with you. That's why we kept you locked away whenever company was over. If you leave, me and your father are dead. If they find out you're gone, we're dead. So you need to stay. And you see actual fear in her eyes. And kind of reflect the confrontation she had years ago with the upper echelon as they barged in the home.
Okay. I'll stay. For a little bit. For a little while. Until we can work something out.
It's not going to matter.
Well, I can't stay here forever.
I know. But I thought I should try. Me and your father have really, really run this place into the ground. So maybe we deserve them coming for us. You're an adult. I raised you poorly, but I raised you. You do what you want.
I go upstairs, back to my room.
She sits stationary. And you walk away. You pass up without any other interference up to the room. The Lua is still perched on the bed. I'm back from my tomfoolery, by the way.
Great.
Do you need to sit for a moment?
Yeah. I call Melody.
Okay.
As you
Are you alive?
Put on speaker.
Yes.
Put on speaker.
That
Put
was
on speaker.
right behind
Put on speaker.
Okay,
Put
what?
on speaker.
Okay.
Put on speaker.
Shut the fuck
Put on
up!
speaker.
Okay, I'm
Put on
gonna
speaker.
put you on speaker. So if that's is that a problem?
That's fine.
Okay, I'll put her on speaker.
I just pretty much relay everything that just happened. And I'm like, so basically if they leave, people are gonna come for my parents. What do I do?
Maybe they should go in hiding.
Like, leave, but be sneaky about it?
I mean,
Like
yeah, maybe.
witness protection or something.
Yeah, they can like go underground. Yeah, yeah.
Fair. Okay.
Just because I mean, you can't just stay there forever. That's
No.
that's not your fault that they did this shit. You know.
Right.
But I mean, how do you feel about that information that you just got?
I mostly feel like there's a lot of weight on my shoulders. It's hard because I don't like care about them that much, but they're still people.
Right.
Granted,
I'm-
people who did terrible terrible things from what you've said.
Yeah, it sounds like
This
they're
is a good
just
one.
trying to use you, which is pretty fucked up. Like that's not your responsibility. You didn't ask them to like adopt you or whatever. So she said that this is Kayla. She said that the Legion ignores what they're doing because they have her.
They're allowing her to get away with petty stuff such as like laundering and dealing with shady folk and whatnot under there, as long as
So she's
that
important to
Indy
the
is being
Legion.
kept under like safe watch.
Is it because they want? And this may
It might not be
be.
stuff you want to ask too much to me, but
Well,
might
well,
not
yeah.
be.
My only question is.
I just
do
want
we
to make
know-
sure that I understood.
yeah.
That I understood
Mm.
what was.
Do we have enough context to know whether they have to watch her because the Legion wants them to keep her safe, or because they don't want her to get out, or like they don't want her like.
It's unclear.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But those are two very valid options, very valid reasons.
Maybe then should we not
Like 'cause
whenever-
they don't necessarily they were more mad that she was just not in the house. That seems to
Right,
be
that's
what
why I
the thing was.
asked
So
that.
like they were panicked that they weren't there. Like she was just not where they knew where she was.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what if, like, whenever we go to a new town or something, like, we disguise Indy? Because what if word gets out that, like, you're with us
Yeah.
and not there? something.
Friggin' Indy's like a bioweapon. Is
I'll
what I'm
just chop
getting,
off my
picking up
tail.
here.
That ass is a bio
You got horns, too.
Cat ass is a
Chop 'em
bioweapon.
off.
I mean,
Sand 'em down.
maybe we can get you a magic item that can disguise you, or yeah, because I don't have.
I hate my sink.
I am too.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
I kind of like it.
It's
It's got a sick beat,
Andy,
honestly.
it has its own vibe to it.
You have a very tough decision ahead of you, and I don't envy you for it. If you're asking for my opinion, I'd say leave him high and dry, but that's kind of my thing. So like,
Fair.
do what you need to, but know that if you do decide to stay with your parents, you're gonna be missed.
I will not have anybody to drink with.
Yeah, I don't want you to stay with your parents because that's not what you wanted. And I feel like you shouldn't have to bend for that. I agree that we shouldn't like get them killed, but I think that they need to go underground until maybe we can talk to, and then maybe we can pull some kind of strings with our connections and get them like maybe they need to just like leave this continent. Honestly, maybe they need to just fucking go.
They have all the money, so they probably could.
Mm.
Okay. I hang up without even saying bye.
What?
Say okay.
Andy, fuck.
That was awesome.
I'm gonna text you and I'm gonna say, are you hungry for cobbler? Question mark.
Wow, that was really
I
sneaky,
replied
Melody.
and say no. Is there something in my room like a notebook or like do I have a desk?
Yeah, you have the desk with the mirror on it.
Okay.
You smashed last time.
Oh,
But
right.
this is a
Okay.
real one this time.
Is there a notebook?
You'd have I'd say you'd have a series of scrap paper
Okay.
at least.
I'm basically just gonna like write a note to my parents that says, I can't stay here. Don't let anyone into this house. Don't leave the house. We'll figure something out. And then I tell Lua to take me back to the friends. To the breakfast club.
Alright. You know the drill. Pick a hat.
I grab the kill hand.
You die.
Look.
Why would you choose that? I told you this was the kid.
And thus Indy was never heard from again.
That is how Emmy leaves the campaign.
We were talking about this ahead of time, everybody. Emmy won't be joining us anymore.
The rest of us are just like, well, I guess she stayed with her mom. We'll
Just
see her
died.
next time we go to
No,
New
literally
York.
killed her.
Holy shit.
We don't question.
No. It's a spell. I cast this ability.
I
In
figured.
case you weren't entirely an imbecile. Alright. You don't need to say anything else? I guess you did right to know.
Nope, I'm good. Let's roll.
What do I do? Now I gotta use my undominant hand to look for the item I've been killing.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I like to live life on the edge.
Holds up this pulls out of her pocket a little hamster.
Carol?
Oh, you cute little thing. Let us go. And just like that, right in front of you,
Do a morning Carol check.
right in front of you, in the middle of the room, just
I was like,
wind blasts away from you. I'm like, oh, duh. That wasn't a word.
Holy shit.
Is that my hamster? Is that Carol you
Oh,
said
that's
the
what
fish?
this was. I thought this was food for a snake. Yes, here you go.
I put it in my little ball.
Carol's a little escape
I
artist.
didn't think it wanted to be stuck in that van all night. I'm not a monster. Lou was a better mom than you.
No,
Hazel's over there trying to breastfeed it.
Alright. I'd love to say that I don't have to hang with you folk anymore. My contract has been annulled. But you're going somewhere I need to be. I know you have a beef with me, and that's fair. But if you can let me trail behind you, we can dish things out once we arrive. Would that be fair?
that was kind of uncool what you did last night. I'm not too
You're
pleased
right.
with that.
I'm very ashamed that I killed Indy in cold blood. Left her, took her against her will by you to a place where she didn't agree to go. I am so sorry for that. I know, it's sarcasm, darling. You're just looking at me. What do you want me to do? You want me to fend off another bandit camp? I can't bring your friend back.
I would have appreciated like some communication, not waking up to one of our friends being gone.
There.
Especially after you told us it was all gonna wait till the end of this whole thing, and then you just disappear with her one night.
Well, now we have nothing holding us back. We can just have fun once things end.
You can stop talking about me like I'm not here.
The adults are talking, darling.
That's rude as fuck.
I'm joking. Oh, everyone here's so fuddy-duddy. I'm so annoyed.
I'm annoyed.
Either way, I don't want to bother you, and I honestly don't wish to bother you anymore, and I hope you never bother me again. I'll be sticking from a distance, and if you need me, well, I can always hear you. That's just kind of what I do.
I don't like that.
No, it's not true. It's a spell. I have to choose when to do it.
Still don't like it.
I've told you my weaknesses at this point. Why are you all so unreasonable?
What?
Anyway, ta-ta. I don't want to be here when the warden shows up.
Bye.
Greater invisibility washes over her.
I'll throw one last rock at her.
Roll to
That
hit with
area.
disadvantage.
13.
13. You know, the best part about sorcerers is their armor class is 12.
Bullshit.
You see. Ow.
Yes!
Uh,
Nailed it!
Imagine we blinded her with that.
I hit her in the eye.
just took her
killed
eye
her.
out.
Oh my
Alright.
God.
You guys are left to your own devices.
Okay, what time is it? Or about it's like
If you check your phones, it's pretty early. It's about 6 a.m. You don't know the schedule this place runs on, but you think this individual will be showing up at any time.
yeah.
Indy, is everything okay?
At some point, not saying if there's any rush, but we kind of need to probably find a way to make sure my parents don't get killed. But not super high priority. We can help Cloudman
What?
find his diary first or whatever.
My diary from Querto. You are not even remembering our bet. We literally tricked
thousands of orcs for this and you don't even remember it. This is silly.
You have so much crap. I can't keep it all straight.
It is my traveling amulet. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's
that
right. We gotta get the amulet.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, I forgot this was here somewhere.
Why did we come here?
It is rude. Although this person was not the person that was running the joint when I came here. This is very odd.
Really?
Yeah, somebody else was running the place.
Who was running it when you?
This lady, her name was Island.
Island.
Island?
Roll history.
I like that we have
Regular
like,
history or history with advantage because it's something.
This person you'd probably have met before. Go
Okay.
ahead and do advantage.
Oh. I probably didn't need the advantage.
Beverages in your fridge.
Andrew, are there beverages in our fridge?
We got Dr. Pepper here. We have Coca-Cola and 7-Up. Sprite, sorry. And we have some random seltzers. So
Yeah, I have some like.
if you want a soda, you can have one.
Can I have a Sprite?
Yeah, absolutely.
Could you grab me a pepper, friend?
Yeah.
A pepper?
You guys are nothing.
Sorry.
Upstairs
I
in
didn't
the
stock
kitchen.
these ones
I
yet.
got a modified 24.
Oh my god.
Jesus!
It
As
wasn't a
far
natural
as you're
24.
concerned, Dr. Island is the current overseer for the Goldwing.
Okay.
And as long as you've known, has run the Goldwing of the CCP labs.
And just sort of thinking back, like, regarding Cloudman's timeline here.
Cloudman was in Palegrass when you guys started this campaign.
Yeah. But, like, would Mistress know that, like, Island was back from an assignment recently, like, right before Mistress joined, or?
You remember
Like-
that, like you said, all of the gold members had left. She was one
Yeah.
of them.
Okay.
So she had been gone for a while now with everybody else.
But, okay, so she has not come back.
Nope. She still has not come back.
I see.
Anyway. You guys, was there any other conversation before Laramie shows up here?
I'd shoot a message to my parents.
Okay. What do you say?
I just let them know where we're traveling.
Okay.
Nothing too
Um,
crazy.
That you're about to leave the strip and head towards New Atlanta?
Yeah, just staying in contact with.
Yeah,
them,
absolutely. Okay. Going from there, it isn't more than 15 to 30 minutes later before Laramie and a couple more of the Goldwing members enter into this little. Did I switch over? What happened?
She's just being obnoxious.
Shut the fuck up!
Sorry, I'm being a dick.
Did I do something?
No, I'm just mimicking Emmy.
Anyway.
Don't put me up.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. A peacock at you. Or kobold. Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, that's not that.
grows a giant tail.
Oh fuck! I forgot my kobolds. Damn it! Oh shit! Well, I guess I'm just walking through the rest of this traveling.
Do we just hear
process.
that like in a?
Yeah. Damn it!
Far corner of this huge room.
The doctor's like, what the fuck was that? Why don't you say something?
You guys are traveling the desert. There's just skeletons.
Like one kobold survived the sandstorm. 1 HP clawing his way back to Lua.
Like an Anakin Skywalker kind of thing, just like burned to a crisp, just crawling.
I have a feeling even if it survived the storm, like whatever creatures are out in the desert at night definitely got it.
That's the worst part, is those creatures are what's causing the storm.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so either way. Laramie and several of the members enter the room and was like, I hope you all had an amazing sleep. I would be escorting you to one of our armored vehicles. We can't get you entirely out of the strip, but we can get you a good distance in and at least rejoin you all with the Iron Bridge. You can follow that to the extent of its distance along the strip before traveling the rest of the way on your own. It would be the least we can do for fellow upper echelon. Would not bother me one bit. Anyway, follow me. We shall be off.
Before we go, there are a couple of things we wanted to ask you while we're here.
Yes, absolutely.
I do want to insight her real fast on what she just said. Sorry, Kyle. I know
No, you're okay. Go for it.
13.
13. This fucking die.
Just fucking die.
Real hard to read. You can tell that she is trying to get you out in a hurry, though.
Okay. Go ahead, Kyle.
Not like for anything, just like this isn't. We really shouldn't just be having random folk unaccounted for in this
Right.
outpost.
Not
This is
necessarily
meant-
like nefarious.
It
just
doesn't
like
seem to be like it's like they can't see that.
Okay. I guess first our friend here, motioned to Cloudman.
I am Cloudman.
Yes, that's right. He's
Yeah, you are.
he has visited here in the past. I believe when this facility was under Dr. Isla. Isla or Island?
Island.
Okay.
Island.
Dr. Island, and he left something of his behind here, and we would appreciate it if you could help get it back to him before we go.
I wasn't aware Island had visitors during the period here. This place has been pretty restricted the last couple months. If you could see from Larian's face here, is very kind of shocked and annoyed at the same time. It's like, okay, you left something here? And she kind of gestures over to Cloud. It's like, it is just a token of mine. I actually left it with Island in order for with his insurance for returning because I have left under such rash conditions. We can check through Island's personal belongings and her current locker situation. But other than that, yes, I don't suppose that'd be an issue. You've been trying to roll for a while. I'm sorry.
No, I just want to roll initiative on everything. she's saying.
Initiative?
Or
No,
insight,
just
sorry.
very-
Roll initiative.
We're fighting.
I'm
Insight.
gonna,
Go ahead and give me an insight.
I'm gonna beat the fuck out of her.
God damn it, Dante.
Yay!
Why is it
I'm
just
not
with,
afraid of Dante in this campaign.
Why is it
It's
just with
so
hostile? Every other character I play, I'm like, oh, 27, 32.
This
good.
is where-
You got some pretty good sussing out stuff too, which is
Yeah.
what makes me sad.
All of your other characters
six.
run so that Hostile can just fucking break his ankles and fall.
Maybe
off
this
the
Yeah.
seems, this seems reasonable. Like, these people never were supposed to be here, and yet they've been here before, and that's doubly annoying.
Okay.
So that's what that's kind of giving off here.
I have a question. Why is Island here?
Oh.
Because if her belongings are here,
She's dead.
Island, sadly, this might not have made complete coverage within the past weeks. Island is no longer with us.
I'm vague.
She's dead. If I can
that's less.
clarify.
Thank you.
I don't
I
know.
thought that was
Specific.
clear.
Yeah.
15 on
Um,
insight with that.
Is that? That's, it seems truthful.
Okay.
You did notice she went out of her way to not specify how. You could kind of at least kind of pick up from that, but it's not. What do you got?
You can finish with Dante and then.
So that's mostly it. Yeah.
But what happened to him?
Oh, we've been dealing with some rather intuitive experiments lately, and sadly, she wasn't able to survive the testing process. She was very involved with her work, and it's something we're really trying to adjust to out here. I was able to step up in her time of absence, sadly.
Time of absence sounds like it's not permanent.
Well, permanent absence.
Cool. I got my
Yeah.
leave.
I want to pull out my tablet,
Okay.
and I still have that spell on there, right?
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm just kind of like staying behind the group.
Glad
I'm like,
you-
oh.
I'm glad you remember shit that I give you.
I put on the alpha hat. Take that, Andrew.
A Larry tablet. Hell?
I used my belt.
You did use that. That was awesome.
I
Is
didn't
Island
take it
there?
off.
But this is
Well, I think
this
it's
is a
just
Dr.
stupid.
Quatra
Yeah.
item
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I guess that's a
I
Dr.
reach out
Quatra
to
item
fit.
too.
Yeah, it is.
I like how Dr. Quatra both made a spell that can speak to the dead and a spell that knocks your hat off at will.
I wasn't
Knocks
keeping it on
other
now.
people's hats off.
Oh yeah,
He's a
your hat
hero.
stays on, I forgot. And a spell that makes you lie better when you can see your garter belt. And a freaking button that just breaks shit!
Yeah.
Don't
What else
forget
is
the,
campaign?
Don't
And a spell that makes you cry when you lie!
don't forget the nickel.
Crying nickel!
I have the bottle of feelings as well. We haven't tried anything.
We
like
have,
that yet.
there's so many. I hate
So much
this game.
You
Anyway,
don't.
There's
and
so
the-
much
I
stuff.
have the crying nickel.
Your pocket's never been wetter. It's so uncomfortable. It's like, you know where you tuck your dick into one of your legs, but it just
Oh,
goes
yeah.
a little? That's what it's like. It never happened?
It happens to me all the time.
No, it's too small.
You don't have a penis.
Have
Not that
you-
you know of.
I think I do.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do.
Kayla's like, oh man. What's that?
I said that's right.
Yay!
Yes, penis is.
Oh shit.
You're a tucker, aren't you? Anyway, let's change the subject.
Anyway, D&D? What?
Sorry. Let's keep going.
So yes, I'm gonna pull out my tablet and I pull up that spell.
Okay.
And so I want to see if there's any other entities around besides Indy.
In your
Fisty
in your current in the current list that appears on you, you have Fisty from the Ashes. You still have Nolan Walker that appears on there, and you see Island.
Ooh.
What happened?
I try not to freak out and I click on it to like talk with it.
Okay, you click on it. What do you do? It's gonna cost you a spell slot
That's fine.
for every message you send.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
That's
How
how it
many
works.
do you have?
This is
What, like level ones or like?
any spell you use. You can If you have spell slots, you can use it for this.
Okay.
We
I
do
use
have
a
two
cantrip.
wizards here. So
And, like it can be anybody that's touching the
Yeah.
Oh,
the tablet
okay,
as you did.
perfect.
Mistress did use the ones for Fisty
yeah.
from
Okay.
the last time.
Between the two of us, we've got a lot of spell
Yeah.
slots.
I
Then-
use a cantrip.
Use
I don't think
thaumaturgy
that's
to
gonna
open
work.
up all the windows.
While this group is talking, then I would probably go to Mistress and like. my tablet.
Let's burn those spells.
Yeah, okay. I don't use first level spell slots. I,
You
I
summon
don't.
you summon a
there's-
demon and
yeah.
let him fight the
I
fight.
don't usually.
yeah, my first level spells are sleep, grease, catapult, and featherfall.
Mhm.
I
I
have
love
used
grease.
sleep
Call another Burger
once.
King.
I love grease.
I
It's
have
so
used
fun.
Grease as he
spells
takes a
once,
sip of
so
his drink of
have all
questionable
of my
nature.
first level spell slots.
You cast
what is
grease and it
something-
summons John Travolta in a leather jacket.
Hey,
I will
Sandy.
let you take
Sandy.
the lead on actually casting here. Mistress is just gonna provide the magical energy for it.
Okay.
So.
Oh shit! I don't want to make it like so obvious.
Yo, you get murdered? Question mark.
Yo, are your ashes around here?
One CC.
How did you die?
I mean, that's the
How old are you?
Where are you?
What do you want?
Who are you?
What you wearing?
Attack.
What you wait?
12.
E.
Old.
Yeah, what are you wearing? Anyway,
Cash.
just gonna.
So stupid.
Yo, you wet?
God, fuck.
Mistress and Ember sexting the dead.
How about
That's
just
the spin-off of Don't Trust Me, my serious D&D campaign. Anyway,
I'm here for it.
no, it's fine. What do you got?
How about do you know where Cloudman's amulet is?
You can ask that.
Spell slot expended.
You want to ask how she died?
Also, do you have a
You can
slide?
still
The
keep
reason that
going.
we're here first.
Do you have a slide for the facility or on like?
No, we're just gonna look at Small Town USA all day.
DeviantArt gives me two different things. I get freaking iPhone shot portfolios of random facilities, or I get freaking furries. There's no in between. And so I looked for 30 minutes. I couldn't find a decent slide for it. So if you want to send me something, I'll pop something up.
I can send you
I'm
something,
so particular. I'm
but
very.
it will have furries.
I'm very particular with how I wanted the outpost to look. I just couldn't find anything that met its standards.
Well,
So,
I've been picturing.
if you can send me something, I'll put
Yeah,
it
hang on.
up.
I'll send you something while you're doing this.
Send
I've
it on
been
Discord
picturing
too.
the lab at Black Mesa.
It's very similar to that, but more
Yeah.
dark. Not
Okay.
so much that like the occupied roaming space. It's very much low lit, conserve electricity,
So Black Mesa, but with a blue filter over it.
something like that. And I can do that on PowerPoint. I got.
Next time.
Anyway, I can still do it. I can do it in the middle of this. But anyway,
Yeah, asking do you know where Cloudman's amulet is?
oh yeah.
Don't worry, Andrew. I'm sending you something I think would work well for this.
You're gonna send him a dick butt.
Furries.
No.
Is it the hot dog picture?
No.
Can it be the hot dog picture? If you are doing that for a second, I could pee and get.
Yeah, this would be a good spot to
Okay.
take a small break if you need to.
Just
I
a
need
little,
to
just a
run
little
real
bit.
fast.
Just a little. Yeah,
Make sure I'm a
but
little fast. I'll be back in about an hour.
I'll kill you.
Just take a small piss.
Dante,
Yes.
I have looked at literally every single house south of Kellogg.
How is it?
It's annoying.
I showed it to you.
Does mine work?
I do not envy you
Well, what
guys.
do
It
you
sounds
mean?
like a
You said
nightmare.
it sent you
We
a
found
message.
one,
Oh.
and we literally told our agent we're putting in an offer this morning. They accepted an offer last night.
Oh.
What the hell
Sucks.
is
Yeah,
this?
Kayla had
That
mentioned
sucks.
that.
What is this?
Was that the one that you guys were looking at like a few days
Oh,
ago?
for God's sakes.
It was perfect.
I know you're
Is
super
that the fight
No!
you're going for?
No, Auschwitz does not match my criteria. Dante Simmons.
Dante James.
What?
Dante James.
Go to the
Jim
bathroom.
Simmons. Take a piss.
Simmons.
Take a piss.
Jimmins.
Here,
I'm gonna pinch that ass.
sent to the
Try it.
suggestion
He did
box
flinch.
a picture
Jesus
Uh,
Christ, you were
of
ready.
what the facility should look like.
Yes,
I'm always ready.
He
That's
was
our party,
tense.
honestly. Everyone tag yourself.
A tense, I can pinch my whole ass with 2 fingers. I feel so depressed.
U.S. patent pending.
He has so much butt.
I mean,
Can't
I'll
believe
give you
it.
a high five anytime. Frank.
Andre, go.
I've seen it and I couldn't believe it.
Andrew, go look at your suggestion
Right.
box.
Yeah, I
No.
sent a suggested picture for what the for what it should look like.
Oh, for God's sakes, I can't escape this cursed website.
Nope.
Yuck. U.S.
Yuck.
patent.
That's what I said.
Oh, look, there's a chopper hat in the background. Fucking One Piece, I can't escape.
Is this an ostrich head?
Is this an Yep. Gonna go get another drink. I don't
Which
think
one?
you
Yeah.
can at this point. I don't know.
Just top left.
Oh, I can't.
This is a hell of a. There's a lot
Random.
going on in this
I didn't
picture.
even see that.
There's
It's
a
either an
lot.
ostrich head or someone just going like this.
Where is it from the?
The top left.
One of these might be a Kratos furry.
Oh my God! How?
It's the one between
How does
the
that exist?
lion and the badger.
I don't want to see.
Is that
There
what
is
that
not-
is?
There's like an
okay,
emu back
okay,
there.
Yeah.
There's like an emu. Where's the Kratos one?
Like the red and white.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, for God's sake! It literally is.
You want to see a Kratos furry?
I think there's a Wile E. Coyote in the
No.
top right.
But
No,
yeah.
I don't want to see it.
There
I
you
don't
go.
want to see it.
Oh my god.
Great.
Sorry, Kayla's doing her 30-minute ritual in the bathroom. I gotta go back down.
Don't
Freaking
judge.
dog.
That's great. Okay. And then I think the next one I'm gonna ask is how Island died and who killed them if they know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get the answer?
Yes.
What was it?
I'll share it with you guys when we're not.
What was it? What was it?
It's the bottom.
Damn, so specific.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, friend.
So glad I have that stuff. Thanks, Andrew.
Just love how specific.
Glad you remembered
was.
it. There's
I
still
don't
i-
have it anywhere in my page, but I was like, no, I have a tablet with notes on here.
There's still items. Yeah. White.
I pushed the button.
Larry's head explodes. Straight out of the boys. Anyway,
At some point, I'm gonna be using that as a last resort.
don't do it. I don't want you to die like
In
that.
the middle of battle.
Like, there's gonna be like a moment where it's like super
More
climactic.
furries for Andrew.
There's like one person left alive, and I just click that button and hope it works.
And hope you get your 1 in 100.
It doesn't necessarily work like that. It works off of proximity. Like it matters how much is in there. Because it's no matter what, something in that space breaks. And so if there's one item in 30 feet, it'll break.
Yeah, so if it was just in a vacuum,
Yeah.
in the vacuum of space,
And there just so happened to
and
be.
gets pressed with nothing in 30
Yes.
feet of
It
it,
would probably
it
break.
breaks.
That
Yeah,
makes,
it'll
that
break.
makes total sense.
That's how it works. So
Or
it
the
breaks
probability changes
space.
depending on what's there.
Exactly.
so- And then if I pick it, if something lands on that, and then I can narrow it down from there, like let's say like your carotid artery or something. I'll do some fun things like that. And so it's not necessarily like a written table I have, but like a series of ways I break stuff down
Yeah.
that
Okay.
I have right now.
So the last 3 files I have sent to this Discord have been titled Furries for Andrew, More Furries for Andrew, and Even More Furries for Andrew.
Why are they Trump supporters?
Furries can be many things.
No, they're not. All furries are liberal. It doesn't make sense.
Nope.
That's
There
not,
is
yeah,
a-
that's not true.
There is a surprisingly large Furries for Trump movement.
Oh, that's actually
Like, there's
Better,
a
honestly.
lot of alt-right furries out there.
great. That's what I wanted.
Okay, I found a picture of like kind of what I'm picturing with this building.
Okay.
I'm just gonna send it to you. Do you want me to send it in like your?
Send it in
Does it have
suggestion
furries
box.
in it?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And
No,
if
it does
not,
not have.
can you edit furries into it?
Oh God! I just now saw the fucking chat.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I knew that you were sending them, and I'm still surprised anyway.
It's the worst game ever. Who invented D&D?
It was me.
Alright, so we'll take that.
It's a little more like.
I found a really
Oh,
good
so
one on Pinterest that I liked, but it was in freaking iPhone mode. Like someone took the picture like this. I was like, why did you do that?
Oh.
It was so good. And I'm like, why is it freaking vertical?
Because I've been playing
Alright, so
I've
we
been
need
playing the
to
game Control,
The girl from More Furries
and
for Andrew.
the architecture in that game
Photoshop
is
it.
very like stark and like not
Head
very
sticking out in the background.
Like-
Yeah.
not like no kind of no frills.
This is like I want it to be like more underground, more like very much kind of like the Asylum from Phasmophobia.
Oh, okay.
Less scary and more just this is the testing grounds for something unknown.
It's just a series of long
I'll
ass
use this for the
hallways.
time being, just sort of staring at the freaking desert.
I mean, if you want, but like
I
that
know,
is
that's
just,
fine. No, it's no problem. I'm gonna make another slide here.
I think Kayla's
Kayla, what are you
making
doing?
popcorn. Sounds corny up there.
That does sound corny.
I'm so afraid, Kayla.
Oh my. Oh my.
What about something like this?
You wait until I finish editing the picture and put it on the
I was
screen.
just saying, like, what about something like that?
That's better. Like this is pretty good.
I'll send that to you.
Yeah, that's.
I still think you should need to edit just like the top of the face from the More
When it's a
Furries
high res,
for Andrew.
it's a high res image too.
Shit.
Alright, I am sending it to Just suggestion, Birks.
The burps. Or you can send it to me, either one.
Why does it smell like popcorn?
I'm annoyed because it smelled like it was burning. It was the bag that was burning. The grease went through. And so
Ew.
not very much popcorn popped because I pulled out.
I hate it when that happens. I
Just
know
go wait
exactly
for
what
the
you mean.
sound to stop you.
Oh, that looks like a section of the tunnel between the. I know it isn't a section of the tunnel between the Kansas State Capitol and the docking building.
Yeah.
But it looks very similar
Oh.
to a section of the tunnel between the Kansas State Capitol and the docking building.
I don't even know what that looks like, so.
Yeah. Fuck
The docking building is a building right across the street from the state capitol where a lot of the offices for state congressmen are. And there is a tunnel that runs between the two.
Okay.
There's also a fallout shelter down there.
That makes a lot. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So cool. I'm glad I could find something that fits the vibe.
There's no doors.
There actually are.
Yeah.
There's like a couple of.
There actually are.
Well,
doors
you can't-
in
when
this
you-
hallway.
Well, when you zoom in, it's a little harder to tell in black and white, but there are like some corridors that branch off to the left and right.
They're just well integrated into the wall.
Exactly.
There's no doors.
I just honestly, yeah, it's something meant to be simple and just like a sectioning off of like of. Anyway.
Alright, I'm gonna take that image. I'm gonna Photoshop furries all along the walls.
Ah!
And then I'm gonna
All the way
Photoshop
down.
doors over
Are you
all the
trying to
furries.
speedrun my campaign? Anyway.
Is
Stop
that
ruining
the
the surprise.
No, don't say that.
Anyway.
So you got that message
Mhm.
from the device. Are you sending another one, or are you done?
Yeah, just one more. I would also ask, do you know how you died and or who did it? Or killed you?
As this happens, before you send that message, you see a little loading icon next to it, like it's trying
Oh.
to process it.
Okay.
You remember this happened with Fisty as well. After you
Yeah.
sent the second message,
It's like too much energy.
it reappears, and you're good to send a second message.
Okay.
I want to spend another spell slot?
I can do one this time if you
No, I don't use my level 1 spell slots.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
I am the worst wizard.
but what if I need?
I usually only use mine for Featherfall, which I haven't used yet, and Find Familiar.
What if I need to get greased?
You did get
Grease me up, mistress.
Well, Mistress can do it at a level 2.
Yeah, I can upcast grease on these.
What's the?
That's comforting. I'm glad I know that.
Does it have an upcast?
Yeah, just
We have to pay for.
Nope.
Okay. Anyway,
yeah. Do you know how you died, and if anyone else caused it?
do you know how you died?
Okay. That'll be it.
You receive a message on your screen.
Yeah, I saw it.
Anything else? She's just like, oh.
I want to do one more, but I don't.
You can, if you want.
One more.
I got spell slots. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The loading
Mhm.
emblem begins appearing next to it again, like it's trying to connect to the signal to it. It reappears.
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
It's hard to tell. You don't know how this Celestian designed the spell.
No.
That's
my question.
Her question is why.
If we're gonna communicate with the groups, I just let your talkers like, I
Sorry.
don't fucking know my spell mechanics.
So I'm spending a spell slot for a Y for a letter.
Not even the word.
I'll
Just
take
why.
a Y, Pat.
Spending these spell slots anyway in case I know what's happening. It's like
Well, I got to see the first answer.
Is Island female?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Island was a female, yes.
Why, girl?
one more spell slot.
She was what you might call a boss ass bitch.
Ask if she's single.
You get the spell slots, you can ask the questions.
I have a spell slot.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll be it for now.
All right. And just in case, for the future's sake. Jeez, this die is amazing.
Throw it away.
It still reappears, but he knew better and it wouldn't have.
You would have just said no. Okay.
There's always so much energy out there. Anyway,
Okay.
it still appears, so the 3 names are still there. And you have your information. You're free to do with that what you will.
And we're still like.
You're in the lobby
the-
area, this
okay.
little sleeping area. Lua's invisible somewhere, and Laramie is in front of you with the two researchers.
Okay. Trying to get us to like leave.
They was like, "Yeah, get the fuck out! We don't want you here."
Okay.
Fuck off. Fuck
Um,
directly off. Do not pass go. Do not touch $200.
It's a big man.
This is my baby man.
Tiny big man.
Referencing the best tabletop game while playing the second best tabletop.
All right.
And so like Laramie is like
Lyrian.
Larian is trying to like get us out really quickly.
She's just like, "Yeah, you guys have stayed the night. We can get you to safety now."
Mhm. And then Cloudman brought up the amulet and
Yes.
everything. Okay.
And then, well, oh yeah, she would recommend helping you get the amulet. And if you have information on where it is, that would help make it quicker.
Yeah. Like, do you happen to know where Island's belongings were?
We can always check different locations where she studied, but I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I can check. She hung out around the 3rd floor a lot. I'm sure it's somewhere around there.
Ooh, what do you have on the 1st floor?
Why?
Just asking.
It's a big facility. It's not particularly any of your business. I'm sorry if I don't mean to be rude, but I mean, we're free to check around the place, but it's a big facility. This place has a lot of nooks. I sadly never met this individual when he was here, and so it's hard for me to tell. I mean, but I'm free to check any place that you have information about.
Perhaps the first floor and the high 800.
Yeah. If we could check the 1st floor, room 854.
Oh,
That's rather short.
that's oddly specific.
Just throwing out a number.
Well, I'd be more than happy to send someone to go check that for you.
Thank
Yeah, if you don't mind. Let me change my accent halfway. My buzz is hitting me. No,
Hell
no, we're free to be able to check that out. Just let me send one of my researchers off in that direction. Do you guys want to wait here during that, or do you want to go follow us? The closer to the surface, the faster it would be for you. I don't want to waste any more of your time than I have to.
If at least one of us could go. Does anyone?
I will go. It is my stuff.
I want to go with you.
Oh, I mean, we will go. It is our stuff. Cloudman says nervously. That's fine. Although if we do get it, if the room that we are located in is restricted territory, I would ask you to stay outside. That's all that I say.
Okay.
So the two of you guys leave together, and then it's left for the. Oh, what's the rest of the group doing while they wait? You guys just want to wait here?
I mean, if the choice is either waiting here or going, I'd probably go.
Okay. Going with Cloudman and them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we would.
Going
I
to the
would
first
stay
floor
together.
would be getting closer to the exit.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
we might as
yeah.
well all go,
Okay.
Sure.
unless there's objections.
Nope.
Okay.
Shouldn't be. There's a cat in my blanket.
Okay.
Sure is.
You guys make your way to the first floor. You navigate through the different elevators and the different staircases and all the bizarre machinations of this laboratory. And then eventually you come across an asylum door number that matches the one you saw in the pad. And Larian opens the door and goes in and kind of shuts it quickly behind you guys just so that she can observe. And it's gone for about 4 or 5 minutes. Before opening the door with kind of like an assembled pouch, he was like, most of the items in here aren't of too much worth. feel free to check them of your own accord.
Okay. Is there a chest in there by chance?
Me? I got this from a chest.
Oh, okay.
That was in there.
He was like, fuck you.
Insight.
Okay.
That's anything in
You're trying
this
to be weird.
place.
Hey, trying to be
What about Big Fat in there?
That's a 9. That's like
A little
the
big
fourth
fan.
8 I've rolled tonight.
What you
Nine.
know is that he ripped it out of the
Seems-
chest of somebody.
Seems
Somebody
legit.
else.
Slightly damp
Cool.
with blood, but other than that, it seems legit.
Kalimad this sack out of some poor bastard.
No,
Chest
yeah, it
of
seems,
my
it seems
personal
legit.
belongings.
Seems legit.
Okay.
You don't know. Could be legit.
Okay.
Anyway. should
Come
maybe
and
that.
check if your amulet's in there.
Can I do a investigate check on the bag?
Just has.
Because what is this?
Cloudman
supposed to
has
be?
he said is a travel amulet that he's looking for.
While we're
They tell
doing
us what
stuff,
it
can I
looks
do an
like.
Arcana check on the bag?
Yeah.
Solid.
16.
16? The bag is made out of what seems to be sheepskin. Sorry. But
Oh no.
Fisty.
it's just like a it's like a one of like kind of like leathery material here, just kind of tucked away like a little gold pouch that you see in like a WoW RPG or something like that.
Okay.
Other than that, seems relatively clean. Just kind of rather big for its stash. Like she's been stockpiling stuff in there.
Does this, like Cloudman, does this look right to you?
What did you get on your roll sheet?
13 for Arcana.
Yeah, there's something magical in there.
Okay. There's something magical in there.
Ooh. Can I do
Feel-
an Arcana
feel it
check then?
resonate with you a little bit.
Also, is
Yeah.
that okay?
I feel it resonate with me a little bit.
17.
That's it. Yeah,
Not much better, but
there's definitely something magical in there.
I would like to cast. I'm just kidding.
Like to cast a spell magic.
Detect
Oh my
magic.
God.
Damn it.
Anti-magic field.
Shit!
Oh God.
What do you do?
Nothing.
Oh.
I'm just
Cloudman,
being
does
an
this
idiot.
does this
He,
look about
he
right?
starts rifling through the different materials that are just like, ooh, I have found it.
Yay.
He pulls out this kind of necklace that has this large kind of bulky stone on it. This kind of amulet like cut stone. It has this engraving of a picture cut into the stone.
Is it a gold chain with a giant round stone with
No.
an engraving of Flava Flav on it?
I hate it.
Everything is that but the Flava Flav. It's pretty similar what that
So,
is.
so it's a giant clock.
It's not a clock. It's about this big. It's not giant.
So it's a clock.
It's not a clock, asshole. It's a little picture.
It's a picture of Flava Flav.
It's a symbol of an unknown like origin that kind of represents, assumingly something from Cloudman's origins here.
Would I be able to read it potentially? Is it like in Cyocton or something?
Make an investigation.
19.
It's not Cyocton. Cyocton works more modular, and this seems to be like an emblem or a logo of sorts.
Okay.
It seems very much like something that's meant to like match some sort of ideology, not necessarily any language. It doesn't mean anything, but it's more like an item that represents something.
So it's like the cross for like
Yeah.
Christians.
It's like legitimately, that's what it
Okay.
is. I could draw something up here to resemble what it looks like, but yeah, that's basically what it is. It doesn't represent a technical message or anything. What? What are you guys doing?
Your cat is a liquid.
Which one?
Zura.
Where is he? Oh,
He
no.
tried to jump up
He
and
just-
she
He is a
tried to
liquid.
grab him and did not work.
That was really good. I thought that said mostly step.
Teddy baby man.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can only command once now.
No, I can cast it once a day without using a spell slot because I have.
Okay. What if you want to cast it more than once a day?
Then I have to spell slot.
You can only. What if you need to do command twice?
Then I have to upcast it.
Oh shit.
Or, alternatively, we might just be fine.
Do you have
Okay.
arcane recovery?
Cool.
I'm a wizard, so perhaps.
You have what
Should.
you're here for. I am more than happy happy to escort you to the Iron Bridge at this point. Unless anybody has anything else they need to do, I'm more than happy to oblige, fellow upper echelon.
Well, Dr. Lorraine, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you housing us and helping out our friend here. Before we go, and if we need to have a talk in private, we can absolutely do that. But I would like for you to tell me about Experiment 36 OD.
Whoa. You see her face just completely change tone here. This is almost like a tone of like, oh fuck. This, you guys have known this whole time? Kind of situation. What do you know about 36 OD?
All I have is a lead.
I love this because this is session 36.
Oh,
I did not plan this.
Oh,
when
it's
I
so
made the
good.
project.
I've got some heroin in my bag. We can finish this off.
Anyway, no. Start biting homeless.
Episode 36 overdose.
That's what I titled the episode, episode 36, and the episode is OD because it just like ties in.
Oh,
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
No, but
D.
you guys know about 36 OD? How much do you know?
I have a friend with the Legion who has, who's informed me of, something that has happened here pertaining to the experiment. I do have clearance codes.
You have clearance.
Yes.
And you didn't think to mention this when you guys arrived.
Sorry to bury the lead, but you know, this is sort of our last piece of business here before we head on our way.
Pardon me for being taken aback. I didn't realize we were dealing with an envoy. I mean, you don't mind if I see the clearance codes, do you?
No, and I'll pull out my phone and I'll show her the codes.
You show me the codes. She pulls out a rather large handphone here and she begins typing in the codes. She's kind of peering up the codes, looking back down, trying to get in. As she logs in, he's like, "Oh, I had no idea the Brave Minds recon group was coming so soon. Yes, what would you like to know?" And like her tone completely shifts here as she sees what's on her phone here.
Jeez, I'm nervous because like we're getting into some really deep shit. I guess
I was literally hoping you would just leave. I'm like, fuck me, man.
yeah. You were hoping that I would leave.
Just like,
I could picture it.
Okay.
Anyway, no.
I was gonna say I was.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no. So I would like to know, just the nature of the spirit. What's up?
Shut the fuck up!
I'd like to know the nature of the experiment itself. I would like to know about any potential subjects of the experiment, and the results.
Absolutely, no. I can escort you all to the containment room right now if you guys would be interested. We've actually had quite the breakthrough in the past week or so here. Like I said, I wasn't expecting the envoy to be here so soon, but please, you be able to inspect the notes and the current progress we've made in the project so far would be wonderful. Please, follow me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And all of a sudden, your trip from the surface decreases, and you begin heading back down. At this point,
Are we all in an elevator together?
you're about to be. There's a couple different elevators that they take to get to these different like layers of this hodgepodge Frankenstein building here. Why? What's up? Is Mistress afraid of elevators?
No,
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
I mean, she takes a fucking black tube to work every day.
No, I'm just trying to work through like what Mistress knows about mod versus what I, the player, know about mod.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think I told you know about the attack on the Capitol.
Yes, but
We've
does,
mentioned that.
Mistress know about Maud's association with?
Maud did bring that up in a story.
Okay.
Maud did say
So
that.
Mistress
yeah,
has-
so you do know. And
Okay.
I actually did. I do hate to admit this to you. Last session, I did play your character a little bit.
It's okay.
And
Just,
I did
just a little
mention
bit.
that it was one of the things that kind of ushered us to go towards the outpost, that you knew a little bit that this project had some relevance at this facility. That was almost all that I brought to you. Is like
That
I
and
didn't-
just us saying fascinating a lot.
Yeah. As long as you played her to be occasionally slightly menacing and potentially
Yes.
evil,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm happy.
No, that's perfect. I did that for you. I got you.
Okay.
It was a lot of
Mistress would like to pull Larian.
Larian, Dr.
Larian.
Larian.
Yeah, pull Dr. Larian aside
Mm-hmm.
and just have a brief aside, and I'll send that via here.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And as we're heading in that direction, or
Yeah.
in the elevator or somewhere.
Preferably where
Let's
the
take a
rest of the
piss.
party can't necessarily hear.
Okay.
Or maybe she might even write it down.
Okay. That might be better if we're like, because we're all right next to each other here. And so, Sarah's like, I'm going in there.
It's like-
not before I kick my
Hey,
head.
is everyone else in the party
Kyle
super
needs my
confused about
help.
what's going on? Or is it just me?
no, it's not just you.
Okay, cool.
I was just here to get my amulets.
I just like to think that the minute mods start talking about like this OD 36, the rest of us are just like, what? Do you know? Should we know something? What the fuck?
I don't know. Honestly.
How long has it been since you've been here? Since you saw Island?
Who? Me? Who?
Cloudman?
It has been about like 2.5 weeks, perhaps. I've been in Pelgrass for a little, at least a week.
So you saw Island 2 weeks ago?
I saw Island over 2 weeks ago, somewhere around 2.5 weeks was when I was at this place, I believe. Why?
But then, like, Dr. Larian said that they never met Island before?
She's met Island before.
Oh.
Larry's met Island. Larry has never met Cloudman.
Oh, okay. I was so, I'm like, wait, that's super sus. Okay.
She hands the paper back to you and she goes, okay. As you guys enter the 3rd floor, you guys head off for a series like you've never, so far, being in this facility, walked this long. You normally go to staircase, then descend, or hit a series of elevators, whatnot. But she's taking you like far back into like kind of the more distant areas of this laboratory. And this is more of if this has any sort of signage or anything about this is Sector 3 of the my stupid ass.
Real fast, can I do I don't know if I could do perception or something to see if Luwa's like still with us?
Yeah,
or-
give me a perception with disadvantage. Because she's fucking
Got him.
invisible.
Because she's fucking.
He's not enjoy it.
Did he stab you?
I got
That was my own.
a nat 20 and an 8.
Nice.
So the 8's gonna be. No, yeah, you got. No, you have no idea if she's with you or not.
Okay.
You guys head back into further reaches of floor 3 here, where eventually you guys get to this big steel door here that has a number on both sides at the openings that would open up horizontally. Here, there's a 3 and a 6. Now, I hate to freaking pause this game any longer. I gotta pee so bad.
Go for it.
I'm
Good
so
luck.
sorry.
Good luck. It's the angriest piss I've ever heard. That's my buddy.
That's your
It's my
friend right
spouse.
That's a DM.
My spouse. What are you talking about?
It's hard
Player,
DM.
I'm wrestling with a thing that I did. Like, it is something that Mistress would have done. So I felt I needed to do it
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
as a player.
Fuck that.
That was a relatively
I know,
graceful.
I didn't die.
Yeah.
As Larian's standing outside here, she makes a small eye contact with Mistress and looks around the group and says, I will be honest, past these gates here, things get a bit dangerous. I apologize, but I
Is this
do
a good time
request
for-
that we only bring in a set amount of members, if that's all possible. Preferably maybe 3, if that's okay. I don't want to risk losing track of anybody when we're in this situation. Our current operations are a bit volatile.
Sure. And Maud steps forward.
Yeah. Who else do you want to go with you?
Larry looks back to Mistress kind of awkwardly. This is like, I do, since we do have a member of CCP with us here, I would recommend her pick the members that she trusts. Would that be alright with you, Mistress?
Mistress like, I don't fucking trust nobody.
I'll go alone.
So it's Mistress gets picked 2 additional, or
I don't trust
Mistress
no
is, yeah, Mistress,
motherfuckers.
like, Larian is recommending Mistress pick the other members.
Okay.
Or at least pick the members that you believe.
Mistress
will
picks
be the
3
most
and leaves
reliable.
Maud out.
Yup. Well, she ain't picking my chaotic fucking ass.
I'm really struggling with this.
You wanted this.
I know. But,
You wanted this.
well, I didn't ask for
motherfucker.
this specifically. I'm struggling to.
This is gotta, you gotta make a moral decision. That's what the fun of D&D is.
What would Mistress do is what I'm trying to think of, and also.
Do you think going against your nature would lead to something bad? Think about that. Like, would this lead to something destructive?
Yeah.
Because, like, you can make something that would be against better nature as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. That's what I would do in your position.
Mistress does largely trust Maud, so
Okay.
she would pick Maud.
You do pick Maud. Okay.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he has these fucking crazy codes that she has would have no idea where he got them
You
from.
talked about getting the call from that greatcoat guy.
That's true. I
You
did
talk
openly
about
talk about it.
And
It's all
like
about
from Mistress's perspective, Maud is the most like established within the Legion of the entire group.
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
So she would probably pick Maud and Ember, as well as herself.
Okay.
Maud and Ember?
Yeah.
Picking these members in here, the rest of you are sadly, have to stay out of the room.
So sorry.
Yeah.
That is rude. There's nothing against you all, and in theory, we would be able to process this afterwards. It's just having multiple people in the chamber at a time
Mistress Maud and Ember.
very much divides out my area of observation. I can't look out for so many people at once when we're in an area of high risk.
What makes it so high risk? It's just where the experiments
It's
happen?
hard to explain. It'll be better if you see it for yourself.
Cloudman and Lua.
Like you said, I'll pick Maud and Lua. And it was like, oh, I'm okay.
Shows up.
So let's go in.
Not Maud.
Now, if
just
it makes you
Cloudman
feel any
and
better,
Lua.
she's probably gonna go in there anyway.
Yeah.
It's just only NPCs.
Yeah, just
Lua appears
don't-
and
This is how we kill
Larian just
Lua.
dies from shock.
Yeah,
There you go.
don't pick any of the party members. Just Cloudman and Lua go in with Mistress.
I think the 3 people to go in will be Cloudman, Lua, and Carol. We'll stay out here and let you guys explore.
That's actually,
It's depressing.
it's despite the fact that we're in a really serious situation here. That is a really funny thing to
Please
think
send
about.
me.
Yeah, no, that
Is she a gerbil?
it's
Hamster.
Hamster.
Maud and Ember.
That makes the most.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm a little confused, but okay.
Oh my god.
What?
I was just scrolled down a little bit through Facebook and I got this fucking advertisement from Walmart. Who's advertising?
What the hell? Is this
Sometimes you gotta go.
Oh, is that a cap? Oh no.
It's if you gotta go on the road.
It's a
Oh
tea bag.
no.
It's like a funnel, and then you can screw just a water bottle on the end of it.
I hate it.
Yeah. When you gotta go. Great gift for truckers.
You guys enter this room here,
Or
and the door's shut behind you here. Larian brings you up, and what's in front of you is only this large dark glass, and nothing lit on the other side of it here. On the ground before you, you see an area that's been taped off within kind of like a circular figure here, with like this yellow tape with red lines crossed about it, that is signifying do not cross this line, whatever you do. That is kind of at a weird oval shape from where the glass meets both edges of the wall here. So you have room to stand close to the glass without entering that taped area here. Larian brings you into this room. It's like, alright. Project 36OD, depending on how much you guys know about the project, has been an experiment with some specific specimens that the Legion has come across within the past decade here. Thankfully, this has been one of our most successful projects yet, with said specimen. But as for how we were able to explain the process of that is, well, I do want to let you know it has been kind of difficult to come with a specific evaluation. But I am more than happy to show you at least what we found so far. Larian goes over to the light, this panel that's over near the desk, and is standing as far away from the tape as possible, but still has to kind of reach over the taped line to get to it. And as her arm crosses the tape line and reaches for it, you notice her hand just kind of is like creeping towards it, just pushes it forward. And as she pulls it out, once her hand gets past the tape, the lights flare on, but only to about half the room. The light stops about 2/3 of the way through the room, as though the light waves just kind of get significantly dampened and slowed down as they try to creep their way towards to the center of the room here. And the closer the light gets to the very center of the chamber, the slower it is to illuminate. Like the light is just begging to reach it, but something is keeping it from reaching. And then as it grows closer, you see these large stone arms reaching towards the ceiling. 1, 2, you see a third from the back. 5, 10 different branch-like stone arms piercing into the test chamber around it. They're twisting within themselves, with the ends of the branches appearing to be like hundreds of little small branch-like phalanges that are just kind of grappling the test chamber around it, reaching for any sort of safety or solitude or purchase. And then, after a minute has passed of the lights being turned on, something that should be instantaneous, a figure of this giant stone tree appears in the center of this test chamber. A stone tree that has been warped and twisted amongst itself like a child twisting gum after pulling it out of his mouth. But near the top of the trunk of the tree is this melted, scream-like face. 2 pulled down hollow eyes and a mouth that reaches down at least 3 feet of what could be taken off as like burrows into a regular tree like squirrel or woodland folk, but resembles a screaming face. A giant stone tree is purchased and locked in, rooted into this metal landscape around.
Yes.
So upset. That wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. I thought for sure that what it was.
Kazoo theme of the stone tree.
Nothing accompanies dramatic D&D moments better than kazoo.
Oh yeah.
True.
I'm not even gonna pull up any music. I'm not even gonna risk it anymore.
No,
This is
you're
what I
good.
get for not playing.
No, you're good. I like the dramatic music.
Well, why did you? You know, I'll go with what I'll go with a classic.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the site that's ahead of you here.
Oh, you have a picture of it?
There we go.
I don't have a picture of it
Oh.
because I would have to draw it, and I'm not confident in my drawing
You-
enough to make that a thing.
You painted a good visual picture.
If there's anything that slightly matches it, it's the initial picture I posted for the slide when I came in.
Okay.
This resembles it with the main
the
face in the
face.
middle and the different branches that are echoing off of it with similar faces. Just
Okay.
kind of twisted in like gnarled roots
And
of the root.
So there's
itself.
more faces
And
in
it's just
the.
it's this light gray stoned tree.
And there's more faces in the branches.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the best visual I got. That's what I tried to.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's
better than nothing.
It's unsettling.
But this is what it is. Well, as you can see, this is our current result of Project 36OD. Although I have to admit, since the loss of Dr. Island, we have suspended the project. As of now, this is what we have to show for our efforts. And the structure just kind of silently screams at everybody in the room right now and beckoning for help, but it's, as far as you know, completely inanimate. No movement whatsoever echoes from this chamber that's above you here. I do want to inform you all a little bit about this figure here. We only put this tape here because the range of effect of this individual, or this creature, whatever it may be, seems to barely span the length of the test chamber.
I hate that.
Larian takes a very cautious step into the range, and she turns like this. Her mouth moves, but nothing immediately hits you until like maybe 2 seconds later when you hear her voice. This is the safest we can reach. As she pulls herself out of reach. Anything that gets close to whatever this is in here slowly stops. 50 meters. The closer you get, the slower you get. If you get up to it, you never move again. She points off towards the tree structure. Something you didn't want to notice because you were so fixated on the tree itself are the stationary bodies that are next to it that cannot be retrieved.
Oh my god.
Because anyone going after them wouldn't be able to. Bodies long frozen in a stasis of walking towards it, but more than a couple meters from the body.
You said it was 50 meters?
50 meters is the max range.
So 50?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah. Our explanation for the effects of this entity are completely unknown, but our base has suffered extremely to the extent of this, and as far as we can tell, we've only made it worse. But 36OD is definitely a project that we want to explore later in the future, but all we have right now are Dr. Island's logs.
What happened to Dr. Island?
Island oversaw the project. Sadly, something about the aspects of it kept her from continuing, to the point where she felt like she couldn't, that she was guilty for it. And now she's gone. We do have her logs, though. You have clearance, right?
Right.
I can technically grant you access to them if you want.
That would be great. What more can you? I mean, aside from what's in her logs, what can you tell me just about what is this thing? Where did it come from? How did you retrieve it? Get it down here?
We were able to acquisition the help of a couple members of Upper Echelon that were able to, after years of knowing about entities that had odd abilities like this, somehow be able to get it down here. And it took us forever to be able to get it here. We were finally able to do research on an entity that we had been struggling and losing members to for years. Project 36OD was supposed to be revolutionary, yet all we've been left with was this. A relic that we can't even approach.
So is this of Legion design, or is this something that the Legion has acquired and comes from somewhere else?
Maybe it's best if you read.
Okay.
They might be able to explain more than I do.
Doctor,
Yes, mistress.
would it be possible to return from within there if, for example, I were to get myself within about 20 meters of the nearest individual who is stopped?
If you at least stay, and she points out at the window again, there's this about a meter wide metal strip that leads towards the tree here. If you can stay on this strip and not lose contact with it, I can teleport you out on a moment's will. Everybody else here failed to oblige to that. If you have a way of getting them off that strip, I can't account for their health.
I may. And Mistress would like to walk down that strip and try to get within 60 feet of the nearest person that is stopped.
We're gonna have to warp you in, if that's the case. Now,
I have a particularly strong mage hand that I'm able to pull things towards me.
if there's any hope, feel free, but I want to let you know this right now. The effects of this tree doesn't affect only physical matter. It affected even the light waves that came into this room.
I see.
So if you think that you can spend the time to get your hand close enough to them, you can see most of these figures are within like a couple meters of it. It's entirely your risk. But I will, if I feel like you are at any point trapped for too long, not hesitate to get you out of there.
I think it is worth at least a single attempt.
That's perfectly fine.
So, Mistress's plan here is to, as soon as she is within 60 feet, she is going to summon her mage hand and, using the telekinetic feat, pull them 5 feet closer to her.
Okay.
She is able to do that essentially once every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
It's a DC 15 strength check, but you can choose to fail and just
This is
allow
gonna,
yourself
this
to
is going to be a bit more
So-
of an opposed obstacle here as you try to
Yeah,
fight
so-
something that is literally being like accosted through time here.
Yeah, so like I just wanted you to know like what the rules is
Yeah.
written is like they would make a DC 15
Absolutely.
strength check if this were happening in combat, like against an enemy. That's how it would work. So I don't know how you want it to work here. If you want me to try to roll above a 15 to cause it, or if you want to to roll something on your end. I don't know.
Thank you.
How. Just
Before I teleport you into this room, I'm gonna go ahead and flip on this LED on the back here, just so you can further understand the concept that's happening here. She flipped the switch, and this LED pops up in front on the back wall of the time. Hours, minutes, seconds, even milliseconds are passing by and telling the time what's going on right now. If you need to keep track of your progress in here, just look back at the clock. Because if not, who knows how long you're going to be there. She gestures to this spot in the far back right corner. There's a pad, a shifting pad is what these are called in this universe, that are basically be able to connect other shifting in relatively close proximities and be able to effectively dimension door you to those spots using the technology of the era. I need you to stand here. Like I said, don't leave the platform. Alright, if you do, I cannot help you.
I will not leave the platform. And Mistress will step onto the pad.
As she's discovering this, I'm also free to pull up the notes for you if you need. Was it Maud? Was that the name?
That's right.
Okay. If you need these, you're for a full clearance to be able to check them out. And as she says this to you, she types in something on her phone, clicks it, and like blinking, you're in the chamber with this stone tree that's looming like almost over 70 meters ahead of you is where the melting face of this tree is, and the different branches that are iterating this smaller fractalized versions of this stand above you. And you're in the room.
And so I would be about 60 feet from the nearest stopped person.
Just immediately off the bat?
Like, is that...
Yeah.
Cause that, yeah,
like,
it's
in
her
theory, if it's
intent.
50 meters, you'd probably... Meters
Yeah,
is about
20
over
meters.
3 feet for
Yeah.
each, so...
It'd be about 20 meters for 60 feet.
Mm-hmm. So you'd have to get a lot closer.
Okay.
Because you'd have to be within... They're within 5 to 1 meters of the tree.
Yeah, and I'm able to stay within the confines of this path.
Yeah, easily. It's leading right up to the tree,
Yeah,
so
so-
that people are at least allowed to try proximity to it without getting hurt.
Yeah, Mistress will do that. Will travel along this path until she is within 20 meters of an individual, and then attempt to use Mage Hand to pull them to her.
Okay. As you travel and start walking towards this direction here, you don't appear as much changes towards you now, but do you make any sort of check towards the clock behind you, or towards any of your friends? Or
Yeah,
individuals
Mistress
here?
will stop moving and turn to look at the clock.
As you begin to walk in this direction, you make it about 10, 20 meters in here. And you look behind you here. And the minute hand is moving like the second hand would be.
Oh my.
1 minute is basically like half a second passing on this clock. As far as your brain is able to process it, you're moving at a normal time, but your friends are moving at such a fast race, it looks like they're all seizing behind the mirror behind you here. You see this clock move, you're able to turn back around, you don't know how much this would affect your normal clock, but this is the best portion to be in this to take them out, is right now.
Yeah, so she'll cast Mage Hand and try to pull them toward her.
Okay.
Just one at a time.
You send your mage hand out in this direction here, and it's a situation here where your mage hand is now distancing itself from yourself, and you feel like you're pushing through a stone wall, or like a sandbox made out of like loose crushed up ground,
So
and it's just
how
barely moving.
Mage Hand usually works is it like appears at a point within the range.
You make it
And
appear.
then I
So
can
it doesn't
move it.
apparate from you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it starts at any point within 60 feet
I
of
thought
me.
this was like a
Oh.
And
I thought
then-
this was like an elfin lead hand.
Yeah,
That's how
so-
I always pictured it.
Once
I-
it's at a, like it starts at any point there, and then I move it around.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I
So
pictured it
it's-
as like one of those gummy hands that you know.
But this is an
Throw
instance
into
here
the
where you would
wall.
have to push your magic
Yeah.
through this space in order to make it appear. And even the process of that is way longer than it should. So it takes about, in your time, maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds for your mage hand to appear when it normally would appear instantly. And it appears, and begins to creep its way to grappling one of these individuals. Holding the individual here, stiff like a board, begins to move like this. And all of a sudden the speed picks up to match your current velocity, and the body collides into you. As solid as a rock. As it collides into you. Slumps to the ground in its current stasis, fully rigor mortis.
Yeah, I'd like to just sort of hold on to the body
Mhm.
and like turn to wave back at the like
This-
to try to signal like bring me
Within
back.
an instant of you moving your hand and looking at them, you're teleported back, as your movement is so lethargic compared to them. Like, it's like, you're gone.
Like the slots at the DMV in Zootopia.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're yanked out of there, and you have this absolutely stone cold body ripped around you here. Oh, I was afraid of this. These bodies tend to overcome more physical trauma the closer they get. The entity can control time in more volatile states the closer you get to it. To the point where, in theory, the heart might move slower than the rest of the body if you get closer.
I see.
This individual here most likely died of depravity of blood flow to certain regions of its body during the stay there.
I'm glad I tried anyway.
No, thank you. We can give him proper rights. I never thought we'd be able to get him out of there. Thank you for helping. She puts the body off to the side. This long dead man.
For any of these individuals that I can safely get close enough to, I would happily repeat the process.
If you would be so kind as to do that, that would really help improve the morality of this place. It's already grim enough as it is, but so at least we can give them something proper.
How I'm curious, how long did it take from your guys'
I was about to
perspective?
ask.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Holy shit.
That's about what I expected.
So we were just standing outside.
We're out-
I
Stay
have
there
to
for
imagine a hostel is freaking out.
The people outside of this, like, what the fuck is happening? 3 hours of Mistress standing almost motionless.
Holy shit.
It's bad.
Could we have texted to
Holy
communicate
shit.
that with
I
them
mean, you
that
could have
we're-
to the people that are in the room
Yeah.
there. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I would have for sure.
It's bad.
I would have been like,
Like,
I
it's
would've
an
been like, all
exponential
good?
increase.
Yeah.
Like,
You
once you're within a
hungry?
meter,
Yeah,
it's
honestly.
over. That's
And
the
probably,
kind of
once
situation
we saw
it
like
is.
how slow she was moving, we probably were like, "Hey, so we're
I
gonna
think-
be here for a minute."
I think after like 10 minutes, Hostel just starts like vehemently texting you guys.
I like banging on the door.
"What's going on? Do you
Hey,
need to come in?
hey,
You guys
I'll
are
bring
like,
this
hey."
fucking
You
door
feel a
down."
hand rest on your shoulders, like, calm down, you little asshole. They're fine.
Freaking fuck off.
Would you
Okay.
be willing to wait for me to do this for the sake of these individuals?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably be here for a couple of days, but yeah, that's. I mean,
I'm taking
You guys might as well tuck in.
I have a question actually.
a nap. I know, like I'm gonna work
Looking
on some.
at
Actually, I wanna work
the
on
victims
my-
of the tree, do these look like employees of the facility?
Yes.
Okay.
They are golden. They are golden. In fact, roll me a history check on this one here.
Okay. And before she goes, Mistress will ask one other thing too.
What's up?
She'll ask for Larian if they would be willing to, here at the facility, put the rest of the party up for the time that it takes for her to.
We can
retrieve
bring
the
them
others.
in as long as you believe it's okay. She kind of makes that knowing gesture. You like, is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And she
We'll all
opens
just
the
stay
door and
behind
ushers
the
everyone
glass.
else in. It's like, if you'd be so kind, I apologize for the wait. Would you like to see 36 OD?
I guess.
Yeah, what the fuck took so long? We were saying
Yeah, that
for
was
like
crazy.
3 hours.
You'll see. You'll see. Just stay behind
it's-
the glass.
It's better for you to see. It's tough to explain.
So,
Weird time work.
yeah, what was I rolling? History?
History, please.
Just regular?
Yeah, this won't
Okay.
be regular. This one's a little. You don't associate with gold rank much.
19.
You recognize one of the
Well,
people in this
plus
room.
7, so.
You recognize one of the people in this room.
Yeah?
You've met one of them before. You're not friends with any of the gold people, but these are people that used to walk your building.
I see. When the others come in, Mistress will do her best to explain the situation and say that she would like to retrieve the bodies for these people, of these people.
Understandable.
Exceptional food.
I'm sorry to ask all of you to wait all this time, but otherwise they are simply trapped there.
No, that's fine. And I, while you go, I can read over the doctor's research notes on this.
Do you mind if I look at that stuff with you?
Yeah,
I'll also look through it.
that's fine.
Yeah.
You have the clearance, I suppose that's fine, but I want you all to know right now this information is not allowed to reach the public. If the populace knew of entities like this would lead to catastrophe. It's already bad enough that we're hiding this from the majority of Legion itself. I need to know I can trust you people.
Who within Legion does already know?
Upper Echelon is all aware. In fact, Project 36 OD received funding from several of the wings of Upper Echelon. Wings 1, 3, and 4 to be specific.
This does not leave this room among our group.
Alright. Don't make me regret this.
You got it. My one concern of allowing Mistress to get all these bodies is what if the real reconnaissance group shows up while we're here?
Oh fuck.
You're there for days. There are only about 3 more bodies in there. There's not a ton of people.
Okay, so maybe it'll take like a day.
It'll take. It's gonna take a little bit.
It
Yeah.
took 3 hours for one, that'd be
But
4.
the others are deeper in.
Yeah. About 1 day per body.
Like for sheep, it was probably maybe a couple minutes in there. It's bad. The further in you get, and sheep was only about halfway in.
Yeah. So, like, doing this, Mistress would be very careful, very methodical about it.
Yes, of course.
So I am fine with it just sort of getting skipped over. We've
yeah.
gone
I'm
through
gonna,
the
I'm
one.
gonna go
So, yeah.
do some of the events here, and then we can jump back to you if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. All right. Follow me to my laptop here. She goes over to
2 steps over.
a console that's over on the right wall.
Okay.
That is stationed here. She logs into an account and pulls up here. It's like, if you don't mind entering in your clearance codes, you should be able to access the doctor's logs. If you don't mind.
Sure. I'll pull out my phone and just copy the clearance codes into the laptop.
Okay, copy them in.
Yep.
Sure enough, the page blanks out, and what appears in front of you here are a series of what seems to be 12 logs. Or technically 13. There's a log 0 in there as well.
Okay.
Would you like to read them?
Yeah. Let's do it. Baron. This episode is brought to you by Baron
By
being
Thick-
a cute
by
ass
Thickman?
bitch. Thickman being a
Thickman.
cute ass man.
As you pull up the page here,
Barely.
what appears to be like a green, like a black and green control panel pops up here with some text
Xbox.
documents that pop up.
Sorry.
And you read, This is Dr. Island, creating the first log in this breakthrough case. As I begin overseeing process of Project 36OD. These logs will remain confidential and reserved for strict upper echelon clearance until the project is deemed successful by both myself and my commissioning officers. Log 0. The genesis of Project 36OD was initiated after Specimen 36, whose current containment whereabouts are within the remote access of Wing Outpost 002, had at least been subdued and may be transferred to a prepared facility here at Outpost 004. With the utilization of the third seat's technological foothold as well as the first seat's interrogatory practices, this will represent the first successful scenario of one of these specimens contained for heavy research without either the loss of the specimen itself or heavy casualty from retainers. As the overseer from CCP Goldwing, the acceptance of this rare commission is mandatory under direct order from Captain Miriam and to be put as highest priority in terms of funding and risk to completion. During this time, I shall be migrating the entirety of the Goldwing to Outpost 004 in order to maximize chances of success. Current research commissions will be either put on indefinite standby or be declined until the project succeeds. As overseer, I will not allow this project to fail. Specimen 36's analysis. The specimen has been permanently restrained via soul steel shackling in the center of our 100-meter diameter testing chamber on the 8th floor, on the 8th floor's 3rd sector. That's where I fucked up. You guys are on the 8th floor.
I was about to ask.
I was like, I thought it was deeper than that. It's the 3rd sector of the 8th floor, not the 3rd floor of the 8th sector.
Gotcha.
And it goes like down like the gauntlet,
It scales downwards rather than outwards.
This is sub-level 8.
Okay. Sorry, I thought I fucked up somewhere. I was like, where did I mess up?
You're good.
Either way. The specimen possesses the attributes of a 12-year-old female human child. Dark curly hair, approximately 4 feet in height, although exact measurements are currently impossible to document. The specimen only resembles human aesthetic, however. Any and all attempts at communication with the creature have been either unsuccessful or enough to invoke violence from the specimen. The child carries no human emotion and appears to be entirely nonverbal. We have concluded that further attempts at communication until further breakthrough will be suspended as results prove either inconclusive or highly dangerous. Log 1, Day 1. The acquisition of such a large testing chamber for the subject is due to the nature of the creature's bizarre abilities. According to information from Outpost 002, as well as acquired info in our hasty research in our first day, have yielded this. The entity enables some form of field around herself, to an approximation of 50 meters in diameter, where any and all that enter experience a rapid deterioration of movement. The effects are not limited to physical matter. Sound and even light waves fail to escape the area of effect as well. The effects appear to increase as proximity to the specimen decreases, from simple lethargic / exaggerated movements to as extreme as a recorded reading of 0.000001 BPM rendering from exposed researchers.
Wow.
These findings have been made at the expense of Agent Evo, who managed his speed reduced to that level just before reaching 1 meter of the specimen. After crossing the final threshold, Evo's readings have failed to render throughout the entirety of the first day of research, and will be recorded as Project 36OD's first relative casualty. And after Evo's remained frozen for multiple hours, the specimen released its powers as the agent collapsed to the ground with no vital signs. Removal of the agent is impossible at this time, as the entity enables this power at any site of movement. Further interference would only cost us more personnel. After this loss, I've commissioned the installment of a shifting plane that would lead up to the specimen, 1 meter wide, 49 long. Further research beyond the 1 meter threshold of 36 will be suspended until further information has been acquired. Project 36OD will hold research until installation is complete. Log 2, Day 3. As our commission from the main labs for the custom shifting plane is completed, we shall once again begin research. As long as our team stays in physical contact with the plane, our remote team may remove them from the testing grounds at any time. As testing continues, we have logged several other abilities of the specimen. 36 is able to hone its area of effect to an acute range in order to vastly increase the severity of the speed effect, although only momentarily. It would appear that for several seconds at a time with unknown recharge, 36 can recreate the slowness of 1 meter range to as far as its max 50 meter range, and can even target specific pieces of its victim to effect. Agent Euler entered the chamber seconds after 36 was aggravated and was immediately shifted to safety as he underwent cardiac arrest. It's fair to state that face-to-face research will no longer be permitted due to the high risk. During our aggravation test to 36, we also found that any and all physical injuries dealt have the tendency to fully heal without scarring in a matter of minutes. The specimen during these tests also expresses little to no reaction to pain, although the tests do invoke heavy fluctuation of 36's area of effect. After 3 days of no form of nourishment to 36 with zero deflections to its physical well-being, we have also hypothesized the specimen does not need to eat or drink to survive. This proposes even more questions to the nature of these bizarre specimens. Where is this energy deriving? If they do not require physical fuel, then where else is it acquired from? These findings will be further monitored, but further reinforce our need to wrap up physical tests and proceed to the main objective of Project 36OD. We shall begin tomorrow. Log 3, Day 4. Our study of specimen 36 has proved that in its current state, the time-slowing effects demonstrated cannot and will most likely never be utilized practically in its current state. Today, we shall begin our research in Project 36OD, finding to prove the following question. Can the effects of specimen 36 be recreated by or migrated to a cooperating soldier under LOA Reach? Our first step is understanding the powers that stand before us. Over the next period, our remote research team will pool knowledge from in-house sources as well as other cooperating CCP wings in order to see if this ability can be obtained through Sojin understanding, or if it is innate to the specimen itself. I'll post again if findings are acquired. Log 4, Day 9. I believe this is 5 days later. The team that we reached out to have come to an agreement that such a power has never been demonstrated among living or past LOA Sojirs. And according to in-house research, we have concluded that these abilities manifest from the soul pool of the specimen, but emits a frequency so vastly different in static-based number of known Sojin that recreating it naturally through training would prove to be impossible. This has led us to the claim. The effects of specimen 36 are not human Sojin, and can only be manifested from 36's soul pool. This is a saddening result for me and my colleagues, but with further cooperation from our other channels, I'm convinced the project may still yield results. Log 5, Day 11, 2 days later. Although it pains me to result in this, our failure in dynamic research has brought me to force the next phase of testing. I have full cooperation from the First Seed Arknight as he begins funneling convicts to the outpost Trangate in order to help me further my studies. My superior ensures me that the sacrifices have already been paid for in extreme deeds of their pasts, but I cannot help but fear the actions here may never be forgiven. Rusix will look down upon me this day. I would hope I may one day look back without shame. Log 6, Day 19, 8 days later.
After 8 days into Phase 2, I've decided to shift directions. My team has believed that funneled exposure of 36's soul pool to our test subjects from the Grand Holding cells would, over time, force a shift in their own nature. These 8 days have proved that that claim is utter bullshit. And I'm ashamed I let it go on as long as I did. Those exposed either died instantly or suffered the full immense effect of 36's power until they succumbed to an invalid state. After our 5th day of failures, we began acquisitioning of convicted rogue soldiers, funneled in by the 4th seat. I thought for sure such a request to the 4th seat would have been led to my death, but surprisingly, I was met with full cooperation.
The exposure to a Sojin carrying body proved to be much more successful than our dormant subjects from the Grand Holdings, but all we have still seen are the countless bodies. A simple soldier's not enough. 36's soul frequency tops in the 5 figures, where even the most dangerous rogue we expose tops only in the low hundreds. I refuse to sacrifice any more to this when I know it won't succeed. We need a higher level. I'm going to inquire the 4th seat about acquiring an Arger. Log 7, day 27. The project is under indefinite hiatus until a proper subject is acquired. The 4th seat will inform me if a subject is acquired, as for now all of our research will be pooled into refining the exposure process. I've been holding back all this time, but if the process truly does involve altering an entity to the extent of shifting soul data, I really don't have any other option. I will be contacting the Obsidian Wing for cooperation on Project 36OD. Log 8, day 28, one day later. I'm amazed at how quickly our research has altered in a mere series of hours since involving the Obsidian Wing. It's as if we've been spending weeks and weeks reading old hieroglyphs on a cave wall with nothing to reference, only to have a full computer thrown in our face with the answer one click away. The doctor believes he can invent a Sojin that would circumvent the exposure process entirely. While it sounds like ramblings of a madman, we have come to the conclusion that we may possess the ability to transfer souls between entities entirely. Log 9, day 44. A small breakthrough has occurred with specimen 36. Early this morning, we received a brave mind volunteer sent to the outpost with direct approval from the captain himself. This individual, while possessing no Sojin prowess or technical knowledge on the project beforehand, has made an astounding connection with 36. The volunteer spoke to the specimen, referring to it by the designation Emodin, before managing to walk the entire distance to the specimen without activating its power. The volunteer even managed to enter the 1 meter caution zone and make physical contact with 36. The most shocking result of this all, after the volunteer made contact, 36 spoke. Its first words in the entirety of the project, proclaiming only the quiet phrase, "Save us," before collapsing under its own grief. We will be keeping our new subject in vocal connection until an Arger is acquired, as this sudden growth in humanity with 36 will most likely help us in our next stage of testing. The doctor informs me the 2 subjects must be in physical contact for the newly crafted soul-swapping Sojin to work in its current state. I pray for whoever they find, for I fear even an Arger to be able to handle such a divine monster as 36. Log 10. Day 46, 2 days later. I've received word from 4th seat that a potential Arger candidate will be pursued in the following days. This is great news, as the Humanity Project from 36 is growing by leaps and bounds. I have no idea what connects this girl to 36 in such a way, but it's truly breathtaking to behold. Even the devil itself seems to show weakness at the sight of understanding. I applaud her efforts for us, and I only hope it ends well for her sake. Log 11, day 55. 9 days later. Our efforts to acquire an Arger have failed entirely. The acquisition of rogue agent Nolan Walker ended in catastrophe, as his body was unable to be recovered alive from his dealings with the 4th seat. The doctor strongly urges we convince an active Arger from the capital to indulge our experiments, but our ranks cannot handle such a loss at this point, not when the assembly overseas is at this level of tension with the Legion. The soul transfer Sojin has been completed, and it truly is as risky as the doctor claims. 36 and the subject would have to spend multiple hours embraced in order to be successful. And there's only one person in this entire facility that 36 would not kill on sight when entering the chamber. I hate to even think about it, but with the Arger acquisition a major failure, and the upcoming hiatus of the Knights, leading to the death of our current funding for the project, I feel I simply am out of options. I'm so sorry for what I'm about to do. Forgive me, Rusix. Log 12. Day 56. 1 day later. This is Dr. Larian, usurping the overseeing duties of previous head researcher, Dr. Island. The loss of the late doctor will prove difficult for the future of the Goldwing, but our efforts must not be left in vain. It was with great dismay that I declare Project 36 OD a failure. With the death of Specimen 36 and the current state of its new soul holder, our efforts in continuing no longer have any funding by the upper echelon, and acquiring another specimen would take ages. The Goldwing will be dismissed back to the main labs within the following week as I remain to oversee the outpost, as well as monitor the entity that lays before us. These logs will remain open to edit, yet restricted to access until deemed necessary by higher order. Outpost 004 will resume its normal duties. That's the end of the logs.
That's a lot.
Can you send those all to us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go over
Yeah, I'll
them.
send them to you.
Yeah, thank you.
You finish reading those. Mr. spends the next multiple hours going through this as you, Maud, cope through any implications this might mean for the readings. What do you do?
So, okay, just to make sure I
Free to
understand.
ask any other questions.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so
I know that was a lot.
no, it's okay, and I followed it, but like my one sticking point is like, so it used to be somebody who, like 36 did not used to be this
No.
stone tree. It
36
was a
was
person,
someone that
basically.
resembled a 12-year-old child.
Yes. But nowhere in the logs does it say where this transition was made to what it is now.
As far as you can tell, the very last break between those two logs is where that happened. Like,
Right.
they did the soul swap from whatever Sojin they were looking for, and then
Yeah.
36 was dead, and then they said whatever entity was left with us.
Yeah. Oh, and so the soul swap occurred between 36 and then the Sojin who it trusted.
The
for whatever
volunteer
reason.
that had been talking to it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So then Island was involved with that switching.
Island was the one that orchestrated the switch and like made the call to do it and forced that individual to make the switch. Yeah.
And then the results.
And
of
as
the,
far as you can tell, after that happened and the failure happened, Island.
Offed herself.
as far as we can tell,
No, CJ.
CJ was able to confirm it.
CJ didn't communicate it with. I don't.
Well, I know, but I didn't know if like any information that she received.
I didn't know if you wanted me to share. I'm sorry.
No, you're
No,
fine.
it's okay. No,
It was in get infrared.
Yeah.
I don't know if Maud picked up that Ember was communicating with Island on the tab.
No, I would have shared it with you. I was scared to share it like with
Mhm.
the other doctor in the room, but by
Yeah,
this
Larry,
point-
that'd be kind of weird. Like, why are you communicating with a dead person? Yeah, but
She's
yeah.
just texting on her tablet.
Yeah. Ember, was there any conflicting information from what you were told?
No, I was just told that where to find the amulet. That Island killed herself because she couldn't deal with the guilt of what was happening here.
Okay.
What was the whole thing with Nolan? So like, were they wanting Nolan to come in?
There was a series in these logs where they were trying. They were getting no success from prisoner acquisition, and they even tried contacting the Fourth Seed about getting rogue soldiers brought in and being experimented on to see if they could get them to transfer that ability over to them, but they were all dying just as well. They realized the only thing that could have been strong enough to survive the process would have been an Argier, and so they were waiting for an opportunity for a rogue Argier to show up, and the Fort C found one and went after it, and he died.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Weird.
And it didn't say in the logs like the fate of the Sojier that they tried to transfer the power to.
It's not specified. It can only be inferred.
And what would like? Can we
Yeah.
assume that it failed and like they're dead?
It said that specimen 36, who was getting their soul transferred from them, that specimen absolutely died. And
Yeah.
it was only what was, and then the
So maybe it went the
finishing off it
wrong
was
way.
says like we're left. It says with the death of specimen 36 in the current state of its new soul holder, or if it's no longer have any funding. So it's like with the current states of it. So they assume something with it failed. They're no longer able to get anything from it. And now you have in this facility just a giant stone tree that's like deformed and like.
So was the idea there that the Sojier that they were transferring the power to is now between?
That was the implication to me, but that may not be.
That's a good thought.
Okay.
That's because that's kind of what I want to ask.
It wasn't specified, but
Started as
that's an
person.
option.
Transferred souls turned into a tree.
And
with
something
an
like
unnecessary
something unnatural happened, whether it's because that individual wasn't an Argier and it wasn't ideal, but it didn't go the way it was supposed to. There was a big failure with the transfer.
Yeah.
And this is the result. You guys are looking at the result of the project.
Yeah. So I'll ask Dr. Larian. So the Sojin that 36 had been corresponding with, and that the soul transfer was attempted with, is it assumed that their soul is now inside whatever this is?
I assume this is my personal opinions on the project. The doctor that orchestrated the creation of this Sojin is out of this world. I can't imagine that the Sojin failed. I can only imagine that the body could not handle the transition. And this was the catalyst that happened.
And so you're confirming that the Sojier that was supposed to get the power is now like this entity that we have in front of us.
Yes.
So like we don't have a rogue Sojier that can slow time.
Yes and no. This entity is alive.
But like we don't know where like that Sojier is.
It's right here in this room.
Okay.
They're alive still. They never died. And I fear they never will be able to.
Do you know their name?
I'd have to look it up. I sadly moved in and took over the project after I heard the news about Dr. Island.
So, in other words, the body of the Sojier just could not handle the soul that it.
As far as I'm aware.
The logs say that 36 was transferred from installation to. Is that where it was initially found?
Installation 2 was it's an outpost similar to this, but it's deep in the Atlantic off the coast. Several of our upper tier Argiers, our main hit team, as well as the first seat himself, were able to confront an entity of this caliber and somehow weaken it to the point that they were able to throw it into that location. After that, they were able to collaborate with a couple other members of the High Capital, and we were able to subdue it long enough to transfer it to this location where actual pragmatic research could be done on it, which was the first example of this happening in any contact we've had with specimens like this.
So was this thing then just picked up from the ocean floor?
It was picked up. It was transferred here via Soul Gate or Tran Gate. We
But
have a Tran Gate here. In the
but
base.
where was it originally discovered?
It was off the coast, somewhere along the east side. As far as I know, I wasn't a part of the acquisition, sadly.
How many more beings are there like this?
I'm not even sure what this is. I wish I could tell you. I've never seen anything like this. Nothing about this makes sense. From the way its body functions to how its soul reacts in emitting Sojin. This ability that's it emitting right now, as it's written in the logs, emits a frequency that even our current output multiplied by itself could not match. It doesn't make sense.
And what was the end goal of this project then?
We wanted to
To-
get the ability of this creature as it became homicidal and unable to cooperate with us into the ability of one of our own men.
And would it not have been a better option to just leave it to its own devices and just not take it in, or was that too much of a risk?
With the damage these things do, I'll let you make that decision.
Was the end goal here to gain the power to fight back against these things in the event they become a greater threat?
I'm not entirely sure what the end game of Brave Mind and Captain in his initial request to adopt us into this project was. I'm not sure what he wanted this project. All I know is that he wanted it bad enough to order us to dictate our entire research to it.
And how many criminals and rogues were sacrificed in the name of this project?
The doctor kind of closes their eyes and gulps here. It's like hundreds.
And all you have to show for it is a big fucking tree.
We're not proud of our results, but we know now processes to avoid in the future, to avoid such a loss.
Well, that's good for you then.
Is there any other dealings with the entity that you'd like to deal with at this time?
At this time, I have no further questions.
At the same time, you're always allowed to make contact with it if you need to. This is, after all, your project if you want to research it.
We'll I'll wait for Mistress to finish her business and we can make a decision from there.
As you begin, Mistress is in mid-acquisition of one of these individuals being pulled out right now. Through the conversations between Larian and Maud occurring at this moment here, is something you can also hear that is being transferred audibly through the sound systems of this. You can hear just conversations as it goes, although it's very, very fast and indescribable. It's something that occurs in time, and you can definitely hear like that. But at some point during your mission here, you hear the sound, what seems to be like choked gargling, coming from the tree. If you were to look up at the face of the massive stone tree, a stream of black tears begin rolling from the face. Everybody in the room during this time sees Mistress return to full speed.
Whoa.
Oh.
As the hand basically grabs and pulls back at the same rate it was at the beginning. Larian looks at the mirror in like abject shock at what's happening as this stream of black tears begin rolling down the curves and the gnarls of this creature like a bizarre water fountain in an ancient town. The sounds of frozen, just kind of attempts at breath emanate from this. The sounds of sadness.
Are you in pain?
It's around this moment when the true sadness fully reflects over the creature. Indy, you realize it fully resembles the stone tree from your dreams.
Been calling out to you.
Do you guys do anything?
I wouldn't know about Indy's dreams because she
No, I
does
wouldn't
not.
either.
Yeah. She is
Immediate fetal position.
So, Mistress would notice that Cindy resumed as the process of moving a body to her sped up, right?
Yeah. Like, at this point, yeah, the voices go from, like, shrill Mickey Mouse back to normal all of a sudden.
Mistress will approach the tree.
You can get right up to it.
She's gonna put her hand out and put it on the tree.
You touch the tree, and while it resembles a statue, feels like the hand of a person.
Oh, God.
Although horrible as it sounds, this is a real living, breathing person.
How do you have like greater restoration or something? Nope, sure don't.
You got that high level yet?
And what comes after that, as the tears begin to run down across your fingers, you see the mouth begin to close upwards and open as it echoes throughout the chamber. Flail. In a deep, dead voice.
What the fuck?
I approach. I try to approach the tree, and I ask it, "Who are you?"
You're actually gonna go into the room?
Yeah, I guess at this point.
Yeah, this would be something you would have to.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I will.
Follow the path.
Yeah, I'll follow the path just in case to get into the room.
Almost immediately, your body pulls you towards the teleportation circle that's in the middle here, and within a matter of moments, you're standing in the room with Mistress. As she turns around, you're standing there with you. And do you approach the body, or the
tree.
the tree itself?
Yeah, I'll try to approach the tree.
You take multiple steps forward past this Mistress here, grasping the body that she had just retrieved from this, feeling up to it here, and you rush up next to her here and stare up at the creature that's here. You're able to fully move, turning back towards you, looking over at the clock behind you. The seconds tick, and it almost seems like it's too slow. Like whatever is pulling you in here wants time to last as long as possible. This moment here must last as long as it can. But But you reach out to the creature. You put your hands. There's no semblance of recognition. It's something you've never experienced, had any form of knowledge with in the past. Nothing you'd be able to put any form of mind to. A completely alien entity to you. Other than at this moment, as the creature stands above. Its head pulls down and faces your direction. The eyes overflowing with this horrible black ichor that the only thing you can compare this to at this moment, as gruesome as it may be, is the gore that you guys received from fighting Notamix at the Gauntlet. Runs through both of your hands as you leave them placed amongst the tree. Your mouth closes, and the tears begin to thin out. Is there anything you do as the tears begin to stop?
God, I guess I'll look up at the tree and I'll say, I'll find some way to fix this or end this.
As the tears go from inches to centimeters to small bead-like streams you hear emanate from the echoing chamber. One phrase. Save us. You turn back. The time on the wall begins to accelerate. The seconds become minutes. Or minutes become seconds. Time is passing. And all of a sudden, you and Mistress, here in this expanse, warp out of the room as Larian activates the failsafe. And you're pulled from the chambers in the depths of this creature's effect. Back to safety.
How long are they gone?
Several hours. Before Larian finally, amongst you all, decided they couldn't wait any longer.
I look to Larry and I say, I need you to find out and tell me who that soldier was.
I can do that. Okay. We'll get in there.
Good with the music.
That was good timing, yeah. Shit.
That happens. That's happened so many times. Like,
It's almost as if I rehearsed. Oh, let me just pull up my stream and see if that stopped the clip. No, I'm good. Okay, we're good.
Yeah,
Thank you guys. That was a lore heavy session.
Sorry
about that.
I was fascinated with